was.
Yeah.
You should.
Okay.
You should have just, instead of being passive aggressive, just posted, "All right, I need pills. Who needs their dick sucked?"
She left again. I think she saw Douglas. Oh man, this is awkward. I think she saw Douglas' comment and left again.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway.
You tell her, Douglas. Fucking tell her.
Oh, this is awkward, man. I never expected her to react that violently.
He needs a platform. Douglas needs a platform. He can't just take it like that.
Okay, Ann, you got something to say? What? I have not been as accommodating to you as I should be. So, Ann, I want you to have the floor for a few minutes because I know there's always people chiming in, and you like to have the floor when you talk because you give more thought to what you say. So go ahead.
She still can't hear us.
Don't. Okay. Anyway, well, I tried, boys. I tried.
Maybe if you wired her $250, she might respond.
What do you think, Ann? What would that get me? 250, right?
Hackle's in for 275, man.
You get working Wi-Fi. Fuck you, Jeremy. Don't be weird.
Anyway, man, Symbolicious, right?
Regina's really coming to Ann's defense. I have to say,
man, Regina's coming to what?
I'm being gentle.
She's really coming to Ann's defense. Like she's kind of like feeling like Ann's right in this situation, and Hackle's,
no, Regina didn't say that. No,
I think she is.
No,
here, right?
no, she's just backing her girl. Is all, you know, and
I'm just being gentle.
Devil's threesome in this situation.
Yeah.
No,
exactly.
Ann and Regina have
It's
disagreed
double
before. Ann and Regina have disagreed.
But not in this situation. She's got
No, she's not anti-Doug though.
She just thought it was dude bro time is what was going on. I think they just thought it was dude bro time.
Well, it is, isn't it?
It was definitely dude bro time, but I think
it's on.
I feel,
Are we
I feel
unduly
like
slapping?
both of them.
I don't know.
Am I patting Douglas's balls a little too hard?
No, he's that funny. Dude's talented.
I believe that, but I'm allowing Regina to come to Ann's defense here.
Okay, yeah.
I don't know, man. It's like for me, I was just thinking on my way down here to the garage where I am now, in case you notice it being really echoey. I feel like not enough authors clap back when critics criticize them, so I was glad Hackle was responding in the comments. Anne is more than entitled to have an opinion too. And I think it's good to have an opinion. So
Anne has some fucking opinions. I'll give her that.
I think everybody's just
I
got
appreciate
opinions.
Okay, and can you finally hear us?
Can
you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can.
Yeah. Okay, let Ann have the floor.
Tee off like
Hackle is
baby.
Frank, let Ann have the floor.
Yeah.
Hackle is making an even bigger ass of himself in the comments now. She's too fucking stupid to get a computer.
Yeah, but here's the thing. He's never.
Do not talk over me. God damn it.
Gaslight.
We're going to give you the floor, and then I'm going to talk over you.
Go ahead.
No, if you had it's not my computer. It's the internet. And the reason the internet here is so shitty is because of the backstory that all of you know and he doesn't know. But he'd probably find it hilarious that I got raped and had to leave Chicago.
No, never.
No, well, he would add
don't
like
take
an
that
extra
far.
up to 11 load of douche juice to that story. Like, I would get raped, but then there would be a cloud of bees that came in the window. Because, like, rape kind of sounds like a letter 8, which totally looks like a B.
And I swear to God, I swear you're reading this in a different way than it plays in real life. I swear. Now, you may be right about several people, but I swear I've met the dude, and he's not what you think. I don't know how you came across this conclusion, but he's really an okay dude. He's just talking about his work is all. And I mean, it's a childish genre. So hey, the number 8 looks like a B is just a thing that is normal in the Bizarro. Your literary approach is more elevated than Bizarro. That's all it is.
Well, can I tell you what since he loves irony so much, the ironic thing about this all is, and I appreciate you saying this, Jeremy, that I take a more academic approach to my work. The thing that irritates me so much about this pseudo tough guy shit is that I've had a way tougher life than, I'm gonna guess, all of the guys who pull this pseudo tough guy shit. And they want to set themselves up as like, I'm too wild and crazy for all these bougie, uptight people who spell things right and write in a literary fashion. No, you're just lazy. You're just lazy.
I think he was literally. I just do want to say in his defense that he was kind of making a point against those sorts of books and was at least wanting to spell things right. I
told him about to pass out from anxiety. This is making me really nervous. I'm not apologizing for Ann, but I'm apologizing to Doug because he was skeptical about coming on to begin with, but I managed to wrangle him into it, and appeal to him. And he did come on, and then this happened out of nowhere, and I don't begrudge you for it, and you are your own person, but it is making me nervous as fuck that he might hold it against me or try to flag the showdown or something.
He might. I bet he will. I bet Ann's going to hold it against you too somehow.
Yeah, we're all going to remember this note, Jeremy. Is the
Jeremy, it's not going to be a problem with you. He's going to hold like one of those sneaky little passive-aggressive, bitchy, I'm going to blackball you in the scene kind of blackball campaigns against me. Which is the kind of shit people like that do. I'm a sinister. And I'm a sinister tough.
I can't be any more blackballed than I already am. Trust me.
Well, admittedly, I misspoke when I said that he doesn't care about spelling. He obviously does care about spelling. But
well, thank God for caring about spelling.
But yeah, like spelling is, if you can't do that, just don't write a book. Like spelling is.
Oh my God! A world without a Douglas Hackle books is not a world I would want to live in, though. Dude's funny. What's wrong with being funny? He's funny. He doesn't have to be literarily accomplished like you are. He's just funny. Seriously.
I mean, if you find it funny, God bless you.
He's really taking this seriously. They're both taking this really seriously.
Yeah, this some way.
This is an interesting sentence to save your fucking life. I don't even need to read your work to know that.
And I think you're way off base here. I mean, I don't want to minimize your opinion, but God, I think you're way off base with Douglas in particular.
Isn't there some way we can get?
But he's not off base with me, is he? You can write an interesting sentence to save your life. I don't need to read to.
He's trying to stir you up and it's working.
What?
He's trying to stir you up and it's working.
And I appreciate your position. I appreciate your position, but I just don't think you've got Douglas Hackle right.
I've never seen Doug act like this. That's the thing. Unless provoked.
I think. Okay, I just want to say I think these two need to kiss. Get it over with.
I think we're just a little out of time. And I appreciate Ann doesn't really know Douglas nor Douglas Ann. So I just think we're just not on the same fucking page.
Yeah, these are two very different personalities. These are two very different personalities clashing. And Douglas, I am sorry, and Ann, you don't have to be sorry for having your opinion. I know you're not. But it's really awkward for me.
Now you're gaslighting.
Any other time, I would love this kind of drama, but I promised to Doug that there would be no bullshit. I really did promise that. And then this happens. And it's
you're really giving Ann the floor here, Jeremy.
Okay.
I gave up a while ago.
I'm sorry.
Let it. And I can promise you, you're a little off base with Douglas, but I understand not knowing Douglas. I understand where you're coming from, but I just I think you're being a little harsh with Douglas on this point. That's all I got to say about that. And so, like, tee off on him otherwise.
Sorry, you just basically said I have a wrong impression of him, possibly.
Yeah, I mean that's where I'm coming from, but like tee off otherwise. But I think you're just a bit off base. That's all I'm saying.
Okay, so.
But like that's your opinion. Like that's your opinion. He comes on this show, you know nothing about him, and you have whatever that limited scope of your exposure to him. That's what you're reacting to. So I can't tell you you're wrong, at all. I can't tell you you're wrong about that at all. But I just I think where you see myself and Jeremy probably specifically, rubbing and shining and polishing his balls. I mean, you're taking umbrage to that, but I think that's coming from a place of like Jeremy and I have read him for years, and we really do think it's a well-placed opinion of his work, and it's not just like a Johnny-come-lately sort of reaction.
Yeah, you never polished an author you liked before? I mean, right? I mean, come on.
No.
Never.
No. One of my rules in life, and it hasn't done me much good in becoming a part of any scene, but if people are in a scene too long, they just write to their scene and they write to those expectations and they kind of bury their talent under it. But one of my rules in my entire career has been I don't grotesquely ever lick another writer's balls. If they're a good writer, it's
Wait. Sorry. Go ahead.
Our internet went out again.
Okay. I feel like Anne's getting lost in translation here. And I think it's starting to feel unappreciated, and I hate that. But, oh, boy.
Well, I think Doug's trying to stir her up on purpose, so...
Yeah, Doug's being a little...
Well, but he was attacked first. I don't think we can deny that he was attacked first.
But he's being antagonistic and fun, as those who know him know what he's doing there, right? Correct.
Well, look, I like both of them.
Yeah, I mean, I don't believe that he's genuinely upset.
No,
I like both of them, and I mean, like trying to play.
At Jeremy, I'm sure that he's pissed off at Jeremy.
No.
100%.
I am starting to fear. I am starting to fear that the honeymoon is almost over with Anne, though, figuratively speaking, and that she's probably going to disavow me in this show.
I think she will too. Yeah.
So, Jeremy, and it's like you're trying to make it come true by repeating it.
Yeah.
No, I just feel where it's going, and I think she's probably like over this whole thing. And I hope that I'm wrong. I hope that I'm wrong.
Yeah, I mean, look at that face.
Oh, wait, okay. Let her talk. Let her talk. Where's that coming from? Where's that noise?
Who ordered a pizza ball?
Anyway.
Pizza ball.
I don't know. Somebody needs to tell Hackle that, like, just trolling people for fun went out in, like, 2017. He does seem to be rather overly interested in being relative and up to date. Sorry, relevant. But yeah,
I think that Douglas is very relevant, and I appreciate his contributions to Bizarro literature, and I appreciate Anne's literature too. And even though I say this, both sides are both equally angry still. How do we resolve this? How do we get closure on this, Anne? Because you opened up.
Jeremy, I'm not angry.
I don't know if you are.
I think this whole thing has been blown up by the fact that my internet keeps going in and out, and Douglas thinks this is because I'm mentally deficient because he doesn't understand the whole backstory of why I'm living at the edge of the universe where I can't.
He's trying to rally you up on purpose.
Ben, I didn't hear your interruption, so I couldn't make it out, so I'm just going to ignore it.
Ouch!
Well, you should, yeah.
Ouch! Yikes!
Yeah. I actually had a technician come here from the one local company that seemed promising, and he came to my door and he poked around for a little bit and he's like, well, I think I can get you like 3 megabytes per second. And like standard kind of slow is 100. And I'm like, I guess I'm just gonna have to keep using my phone as a hotspot indefinitely till I stop being stuck here. But I'm just getting progressively annoyed by the fact that my internet keeps going out because there's really not anything I can do about it. Since they dumped all of the, well, probably not all, but a bunch of recently released convicts in Riverside County, and they weren't released because they served out their sentences. They were released because of COVID. The county has dumped however many. They didn't even tell the sheriff here that it was going on, much less how many people they were dumping here. But they dumped so many homeless people and ex-cons here that my old trick of walking around trying to find a good signal and then stopping where I find the good signal doesn't work anymore, because I'll just be swarmed by homeless people who, if I look that day like I have 2 cents to rub together, they'll demand shit out of me. And if I look fairly homeless, which admittedly I do from time to time, because I don't always, you know, I'm sometimes a little flustered since my flight from typhus and rape and all the other shit that I had to run from. I don't always have time to doll myself up, so I do look a bit homeless. And if you look homeless, then the homeless will crowd around you asking, like, if you know where the soup kitchen is, or if you know where to get this handout or that handout. So I can't walk around outside and stop when I get, you know, a good signal, and I can't do it in my house because I get a terrible signal there. So I've had to go with the nuclear option and do it in the clubhouse where they have free internet. I don't know who hooked them up, but I run the risk of any of the residents here coming in and having their own personal phone call in my face. Like if you look at Facebook, that's what happened the other night. I wasn't trying to podcast. I was trying to just write in here. And some guy comes in and starts doing his personal phone call about, you know, how he's trying to get a bargain on learning transcendental meditation.
So, and I think he's got a, okay, go ahead.
And it was just loud and relentless. So I'm not, this is becoming much more of a big deal than it should have been. I just meant to like come on and say, wow, what a douchebag, and then go on to other things.
But he's really, if you know him, oh man, have you read? You haven't even read his stuff. That's the thing. I mean,
well, he hasn't read my stuff, but he can still say that I am physically impossible of composing an interesting sentence.
Well, yeah, but he's reacting to what you said, hon. I don't mean. I mean, you know, I've read.
His reaction to what I said just proves what I said. So congratulations.
Okay, we're not going to convince you otherwise, and Doug's going to do what Doug's going to do, and Ann's going to do what Ann's going to do. I just like to pull away from it if possible. I think he made a good point here about Toni Morrison said, if there's a book you want to read that hasn't been written, write it yourself. That's what he does, and that's what he talked about tonight. He didn't talk about anything that we didn't ask him, Ann, and that's all I want to say about it. You know, I mean, if you need to say something else, sure, you can have the floor for it, but I really think that it would be better if we could have some sort of amicable thing here. But go ahead.
Well, you know, obviously he likes reading vastly different kinds of books than I do, which is fine. I mean, it's fine to have different tastes, but the reason I wasn't privy to you guys asking him that question is because he started whining because he could hear noise when I came on, so I was ejected from the conversation.
That's where this really
I was
comes
the one
from.
who said that.
Oh, yeah.
No, you did that. You did that when I tried to come in the second time, Ben.
I just asked you to mute because the sound was drowning out everything else.
Yikes.
Yeah, and I was just getting my shit together. But the first time he didn't even ask me to mute. He just started whining, and it just like, I'm talking about myself and I hear a noise. Which, you know, didn't give me a real good first impression. But secondly, does he know what Toni Morrison is, then this complete blithering asshole shits all over me. Well, then confident about your own work. You know, if you were confident about your own ideas, dude, you wouldn't need to like have an idea and then spill juice all over it. Anyway, Toni Morrison lately has been shooting out bitter little quotes about how she wishes, what was the exact quote? She feels like she won't get justice or something. I'm going to paraphrase, but her quote was, I just want to see a white man go to jail for raping a black woman. And I want to see white kids get shot in the back by cops. That's justice.
Sounds like a book I'm gonna pee all over.
You know, I would defend you for peeing all over that book. It's not like you're rounding up all copies of the book and asking other people to pee on them. You're just, you know, expressing how you feel, and it's your copy of the book.
Just
it's your personal
put it on
property.
OnlyFans and you can monetize it, baby.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's what I do.
I guess he went to go take a pee.
Yeah. He went to go throw up again.
I
Yeah,
think
probably.
one point
That was
that
the
I'd really like
puking
to
Jerry.
make. One point that I'd really like to make to both Anne and Mr. Hackle is that when two people don't know each other very well, it's very easy for them to project their own bad traits onto the perceived missteps of another person. So I would think that maybe if you would both forgive each other and think about how many times you each called the other one an asshole or various things, maybe we could all just walk it back.
I'm a little bit, I'm getting a little bit dizzy from all the excitement here, so I need to back away. Yeah.
I get the feeling Jeremy is not comfortable with conflict.
No.
He's very comfortable.
I think everybody's
Normally I would be, but this, I promised Douglas no conflict, and then it happened on its own, and now I'm worried he's going to flag it down or something, or go back to Bradley Sands' camp and say, look, you were right about them or something, you know? That's what only thing I'm worried about.
He's just going to do a sneaky, bitchy little blackball campaign against me personally, and then it'll backfire on him, and then he'll cry. That's all that's going to happen, Jeremy.
Yeah, why would you even bring him on if you thought he would do something like that?
Because I'm not going to let that stop me from having like radio gold or talking to someone. If they seem impossible to get, then it's something worth pursuing.
Like at the same point, like I don't think Douglas is what Anne is categorizing him as.
Definitely not. I know she did
Douglas' opinion, and I think just Anne is off base because she's just not familiar with Doug or his work. Like that's
like.
Well, let me look at the sample.
You called him a jackass. If you're on here, you're a jackass by definition.
No,
all of us here are jackasses. All of us. Jackass solidarity.
I mean,
jackass gang.
And I'm not trying to. I certainly wasn't trying to specifically. It was just the last swear word that I saw on the screen, so it was just the only example that I had.
I think Douglas is trying to have a good time. I think Douglas is trying to have a good time, and maybe everybody's confusing everything all around. But I'm just going to be like, for me, like I've experienced Douglas's work for years. I don't think he's coming from any place of seriousness.
I liked what I read,
and I think Anne is just experiencing Douglas for the first time and having the wrong reaction to him. I'm not minimizing her experience, but I just think she just doesn't understand him 100%.
Yeah, I mean, and like I was saying before, I think that what was easily mistaken for a dude bro love fest could be annoying, right? That's partly.
Seriously, I'm getting dizzy. If we keep going in this direction, I might pass out, man. I'm seriously.
Put your face on the screen so we can see it if you do.
Okay.
Yeah,
but
do I look dizzy? Do I look dizzy?
We can't see you yet.
I'm kind of
there.
But I'm kind of interested, Gregor. Like it almost seems like you had just read, like, especially with the Tater Tots and Juliet, like, was that your first exposure to Douglas Hackle that you just read recently?
Well, no, I've read everything he's written.
Oh, you've read him before.
Oh yeah, I've read everything except for Zoltergeist the Poltergeist.
Okay, so you already knew where he was coming from.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
I've read all of his stuff. I read Clown Tear Junkies when that came out, and
when he was drowned. Like, I don't know if anybody knows that story. Like, he was drowned for that book cover, or not him, but McCarthy was drowned for that book cover. But yeah.
I mean, I've been like, once after reading that, I'm pretty sure I bought everything that he put out like the day it came out.
So you understand why Anne thinks he's an asshole?
No, I don't. I don't. Doug,
I mean, I can understand how she was put off by that conversation because it was, drunk people being overly familiar with each other, dude bro type of ball licking stuff. I can see where somebody would get kind of like put off by that, but
we all are comfortable and understand Douglas's work, and then it goes like, why is everybody fucking just massaging the fuck out of this guy's balls?
We were having fun with the guy. We like.
I'm trying to appreciate all
perspectives.
Anna's looking at us very disapprovingly.
When I spoke favorably of Electra's Revenge, was I polishing your balls, Anne?
No, but I haven't. My balls have not been exposed to Electra's Revenge, as much as it's been to Douglas Juliet's Tater Tots. That's all I'm saying. Like, I'm not going to be as complimentary to Electra's Revenge because I just haven't rubbed my balls up against them, and I'm sure I would.
and
balls would be tingled.
I don't know about you, but I read with my eyes and not my ball sack.
And you're reading completely wrong.
Anne, can you hear me, Anne?
She's frozen.
Okay. I thought she was just really mad.
She is.
I know she's
very mad at you, Jeremy.
Oh, she is mad.
Yeah, the screen's not frozen. She's just so mad.
She may or may not be mad at me, but she's mad at Douglas defending himself, and she's mad at.
No.
Okay, Anne. Do you think that I polished your balls when I spoke favorably of
Well, I'm deeply offended that you don't realize that I'm a woman.
Yeah, I know, but I mean, it's
what's wrong with you, Jeremy?
It's banter. What do you want? You really want me to say that I'm polishing your clit? I mean,
no, we're not going that route.
Like I said, I don't care whose balls anyone polishes. If you like a writer, you like a writer. During this conversation, I've gone off to read some of his stuff, and
really?
Yeah, well, one of his books came up as a free sample, and I think one of them is on my subscription to. Well, let me just read his poem for you, and the listeners can decide.
Is it the rap it might be the rap he did at the beginning of his interview?
Yeah, let's hear it. Yeah, just let her go.
It's called My Name is Douglas, and I'm gonna try to do justice to it. Yo, I got something to say, and it goes a little bit like this: Uno, dos, tres, cuatro. My name is Douglas, pronounced with an Douglas. I'm on the mic, and I just don't give a fuck. I'm eating maggots while your basic ass eats hummus. I'm gonna stuff my mouth with crickets while.
That's the exact rap.
I was feeling it. Yo.
I know.
I was feeling it, yo.
But that's
we need to put a beat on.
That should have been her own like interpretation of the Douglas Hackle rap. Should have like informed her of what Douglas Hackle is all about, right? Like, correct?
I don't know. I wish she wouldn't have cut out though, because that would have been really nice.
Oh my God!
Okay, here she comes. Here she comes. You can finish it.
Let her go.
Okay. Apparently, I'm gonna have to read the poem on a different device because wow, even the internet in the clubhouse sucks.
Yeah, it does.
Well, anyway, you know, if you guys think this is funny, there's one more pleasure in the world that, you know, other people enjoy and I just don't.
He did that at the beginning of his interview, and I thought it was hilarious.
Yeah.
The same thing.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's that kind of goofy, irreverent, like, dude, are you kidding me with this? It's like, did you really just go there? And it's funny because of that. It's funny because of the
it's kind of like an anti-comedy kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yep. He's
yeah. I've never enjoyed anti-comedy like Neil Hamburger.
Who? Okay, have you ever heard
of
talking
about? I don't like that guy either.
yeah.
I think he's pretty funny.
Who? What's his name?
Although I think Gilbert Gottfried does it better.
Wait, what's his name? What's his name?
Neil Hamburger.
Neil Hamburger is a poor representation of comedy as opposed to like a Gilbert Gottfried.
Bullies Are Bad: The Adventure of Skinny Moronic Moran. I don't know. This might be good.
Don't go into Neil Hamburger. He's terrible.
Really?
Okay. I mean, Gilbert Gottfried does it better, I think.
Yeah. If you want to know what Neil Hamburger does, listen to Gilbert Gottfried for the good part of that.
Oh man, I'm sorry, Doug. Doug, I'm sorry, man, and I'm sorry to you too. Anyway, why do I keep like?
You're just sorry. Period.
Why do I keep? I know.
Sorry, sack of tangerine, bitch.
Why do I keep egging it on by? Okay, go ahead.
You know, when this conflict began, you were totally into it, Jeremy. But just for the entertainment value, I don't know what caused you to turn around, but I'll make you a deal. I will reconcile with Douglas Hackle if he will put his money where his mouth is. Stop eating hummus and make a video of himself actually eating maggots.
Oh my!
All right.
I don't know how that improves things. But
I don't like rappers who be fronting.
In other words, if you're a real writer, you'll eat maggots. I don't know.
Yeah, I'll just go out and find a moose carcass. Yeah, we'll just have Douglas film himself going out, finding a moose carcass, and grabbing a handful of maggots and throwing them back like Tic Tacs.
Yeah, Dougie.
It's not that hard to get maggots. You know, you just leave some meat out where flies can get at it. A couple weeks later, you got maggots.
Nobody knows about that.
That's how I know that.
My question is, if like Douglas either performs or doesn't perform, like how does that make him better or worse than you?
I'm not saying
he ate maggots.
I'm not saying it makes him better. Wait, are you talking about the maggots still, or what are you talking about?
Yeah,
I ate maggots. I'm better than you.
But like you're throwing, like I will concede he's good, or at least on my level if he can come up with some maggots, or like what is the throwdown? Like what is the throwdown? Because you're kind of challenging him.
This feels like a very 5th grade playground kind of a challenge.
Yeah,
like,
well, I took it straight from his own poem. And his interpretation is that he's better than other people because he eats maggots, while your basic ass eats hummus.
I'm still up working while you bitch ass sleep.
I love hummus. So why are we challenging my eating of hummus? I'll eat hummus.
I'm not talking about you, Mr. Frank.
Oh, because I will eat hummus out of any ass. You challenge me, and I will lick fucking hummus, whether it be fucking red fucking pepper roasted, or jalapeno, or fucking chocolate mocha.
I'm getting dizzy. Y'all are making me dizzy.
Yeah.
Is that a
look out?
That's a kitty tail.
I thought it was being challenged. Hummus eat ass. I just wanted to be challenged on hummus eating. That's all I wanted to have tonight.
have
Yeah, I'm
no
sure it
idea.
is. You're like, I'll go to the
Next
grocery
episode
store
is-
right now and get 5 kinds of hummus and eat it right now on stream. Is that what you want?
On the next episode of The Quiet Place, Douglas Hackle
look
will
at Jeremy.
challenge Frank, and Frank will eat hummus, and Douglas Hackle will eat an equal amount of maggots.
Doug, do you want to come back on and just have it out with Ann? Do you want to go toe to toe with Ann in a celebrity death, like an indie celebrity death match or something?
No.
Do that. What?
I think they should rap at each other.
Yeah.
You know what? Let's have a battle rap. Doug, come on and let's do a battle rap. And this is to determine who is right. Oh, Ann's not. Now Ann's starting to regret it. Huh?
How about just
I
slam
don't know
poetry in general? I think that'd be a
I'm
good
just
one.
trying to figure out what the debate would be. Like, what
Who can
question
rap
are we
better?
Like
Who can rap better?
best? Like I'll eat, and I
Who
would
can eat more maggots?
I would eat hummus out of ass like you wouldn't believe.
Now, eating hummus out of an ass is
Yeah.
not that bad of a proposition as long as you're not eating ass.
What kind of hummus? What kind of hummus? I will eat fucking really hot hummus out of somebody's asshole. I will fucking eat it before you.
What about Jeremy's asshole? I was literally thinking that earlier. I was like, if he loves hummus so much, would he eat it out of somebody's ass?
Wait, you think about my asshole? Seriously?
I will eat double Scotch bonnet hummus out of Jeremy's asshole before you think about licking raw hummus out of anybody else's asshole.
Not right now, you won't.
Right, so I think we need to tranquilize Jeremy first.
Yeah, when is that going to happen? Then when are you going to be ready, Jeremy?
Jeremy,
That's okay. I've got.
And then we need to hire a doctor because I'm not putting the hummus on there.
Jeremy, bend over.
I'll put it on.
Actually, you guys, you should eat chocolate hummus out of someone's asshole. It's so
Hummus?
obvious.
That's easy. Why would we make it so easy for me? Chocolate hummus. I would fucking chocolate eat hummus for days. Give me some like triple fucking Scotch bonnet habanero, some fucking real hummus out of somebody's asshole.
So it's burning their asshole as well as.
Yeah, like I need some real like I seriously like people ask me like, is that shit hot? And I'm like, you can't go by me what hot is because I have
The Aztecs, didn't the Aztecs do that as punishment? They would rub peppers on people.
Ben did the one chip challenge, and I'm like, he's kind of a pussy boy, but whatever. But he went up.
I will eat 2 of those chips.
You went at it. And I did not. So I need to step up.
So I win,
So-
and you have no place to call me a pussy.
Because I have not challenged you yet, but I will. I think there will be a 2021 one chip challenge. Ben versus myself. Whoever eats a thing against whatever Ann challenges us to eat out of an ass of something else.
I just want to
Just to clarify, Frank, I wasn't challenging you. I was challenging MC Hackle to
No, but you mean
prove to us that he ain't fronting and that he actually eats maggots where our basic bitch asses eat hummus.
well,
I just want to say, as
Is that picture of you in your group home?
No. God bless my cousin Lance for putting this up and
Lance Carbuncle.
That's
Jeremy,
huh?
did you read, have you ever read Lance Carbuncle, Jeremy?
No.
You've never read Lance Carbuncle stuff?
No, I guess I should, huh?
Yeah. Oh my God. Like while we're on the subject of fucking Bizarro and shit, like Lance Carbuncle, my God, like that's like a missed opportunity if you're not into some Lance Carbuncle books. I would go like smash, splat, chunk, chewed, spewed,
Smash, squash, splattered, chewed,
chunk, and spewed.
I just okay.
What was the other one? The pussy balls with the oh my God! It was like it was the Wizard of Oz. Instead of going to the yellow brick road, he followed the red brick road. That one was really fucking.
Yeah.
I just want to say I'll check out Lance Carbuncle. Like I was trying to say though, and it's nothing. I don't take it personally.
I'm sorry.
I just want to say I want to say God bless my cousin Lance for putting that up. That's a picture of my parents. My parents are in the middle. Those are my parents in the middle when they were healthy and here, present. And God, I wish I could go back to that so bad.
I'm sorry, Jeremy.
Yeah,
Jeremy.
Get those moments, bro.
Beautiful photo. Love it.
God, they were such a force of good in my life, and I don't know what I'm going to do without them. But
You gotta live as they would want you to live, Jeremy.
people aren't going to let me go on. No, people aren't going to let me move on. They're going to punish me forever for some bullshit that they don't even understand why I was doing it.
And I think we need to end this now.
They'll figure it out, Jeremy.
Why? This is Radio Gold, same as them fighting.
No, it's not.
It is. I'm not ashamed of these tears. That's
Jeremy, you're gonna figure out those new moments too, bro.
The what?
That's what you're gonna figure out those new moments too, bro. As much as you hold, the past, like there's gonna be new fucking moments like that are just as awesome and epic and that define your life. Beyond fucking rough. I know you're going through a rough fucking moment. I understand it. We've all had rough moments, and we, I know you don't want to hear. Like, I know you don't want to hear that. We fucking understand, but like, I think to one degree or another, like we've all had our fucking rough moments, brother. And we can't understand or appreciate what you're going through at this moment, but we're all humans, and we've all had fucking tough moments. Like man. Capitulate to what you're going through now. We've all had our fucking tough moments, and we all understand that, like, these moments are what to fucking find us, brother. And I'm not even gonna pretend I understand what you're going through, because I have not gone through specifically what you've gone through, brother. But I'm out there. I see your fucking struggle, and I'm not liking. But Jeremy, I fucking see you. You hear me, brother?
Yeah.
I fucking see you, dude. That's all I'm gonna tell you, because I think that's all you need to know is I see you fucking out there, dude. I see you out there, and we got tonight, we got Sunday. Jeremy, we're gonna have another Sunday and many Sundays beyond that, dude. I know you've got a lot of fucking shit to deal with. Every one of us is gonna have to come to face with that at some point, dude. And I think that's what we all recognize. Like, I know you struggle against people like telling you they recognize or whatever. Jeremy, I see you out there. We all see you out there. We all understand your struggle, whether we're going through that currently, have, or will. We all see it, dude. Got me?
Yeah.
All right. That's all I need you to know, man. And I just want to see you. I'm not going through what you're going through right now, but I'll see you next Sunday, dude. Right?
Thank you. And
I'll see you every Sunday.
It probably is a good time to wrap up now that I'm all in full pussy mode. Yeah.
Cool. It's cool.
It's good to have feelings, Jeremy.
And
we all get it.
You're losing somebody who's very important to you. It's hard. My kitty cat just died, and that might not sound like a big deal, but
that is valid. That is just as valid to me. Yeah. I mean, yeah.
I've been just kind of numb with grief the last couple of weeks. I don't even know what day of the week it is half the time, because I'm freelancing, and when I'm not working, I'm just hallucinating that I see my cat.
Yeah.
And if I have any advice to give you out of this experience, the one thing that's really helped me keep it together is the fact that I have another cat who is also grieving the dead cat.
Yeah.
And I've been able to get myself through it by getting him through it, if that makes any sense. Like when my aunt died when I was a kid, my mom just wouldn't let anybody else grieve except herself. Like if she caught me crying, there'd be hell to pay, because she was the only one who got to grieve, and she was the only one who was really sad. And that's such a not adaptive way to go about things, because of what I found out when I put like Stumpler's my cat's name, I put his grieving first. I felt so much better and so much less overwhelmed. So if you can, like, engage yourself in helping, like, siblings or cousins or anybody else who's connected to your parents, you know, to reach out and make an effort into helping them get through it, it's almost like magic the way it helps you get through it.
Mm. Yeah.
And it, you know, it sounds like you have some good cousins, you know, that you can lean on, and letting them lean on you is the best thing you can do for your own grief.
Yeah, yeah. I don't guess you want to do kissy face with Douglas before we wrap up, do you? Because I mean, you know, I really think that you're both missing out on, you know, what the other's about. I mean, if there's anything you want to say to put a resolution on that, I mean, you know, it's a good time to do it while, you know, everybody's showing their humanity all raw here, you know. Say to Douglas that redeems, you know, anything, or
well, is my screen frozen?
no.
What should I be looking at right now?
The six of us.
Oh, my screen is frozen. It's still frozen on your family photo.
Oh, yeah, that is weird, but we can hear you fine. So,
okay. Your family photo is.
Huh?
Your family photo is accompanied by Douglas's last little ineffective barb at me.
Yeah, the family photo's not on anymore, so you might be frozen.
So, like I said, though, is there anything you want to say in closing that would be fairer to Douglas than you know, your appraisal of his character in Last Hour?
Well, since admittedly neither of us really knows the other, I don't really have anything sincere to say.
Okay.
The only response
doubling down. Doubling down.
No, I'm not doubling down. I'm just saying I don't have anything to work with.
Okay, you're doubling down then.
No, that's not what that is, Johnny.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay. Yikes. Okay.
I'm just saying.
By put it on the screen, Douglas means your penis. Show penis, Jeremy.
All right.
Please.
Trust me, you don't want to see it. You don't want to see it. Nobody wants to see that. Anyway.
Ben does, obviously.
Huh?
Ben does, obviously.
Obviously.
Let me find something that maybe.
No, that's okay. I'm sure it's not going to be flattering. Whatever you say to Douglas. Is there?
No, I'm looking for something nice I can say about him. Give me a sec.
Yeah, boy, this is going to be more uncomfortable barbs. I know. This is, Doug. Please don't flag down the stream.
You did this, Jeremy.
I probably just
to do with this.
He's probably just drunk right now, so he's probably gonna. Just laugh
Doug
at this when he
usually
still gets up.
Yeah, Doug is a good dude. He's not gonna link flag.
I know. I don't understand how this. And is it possible that this happened? That he just something he said rankled you in such a way that you've gotten the wrong impression? I mean, because I don't see any of this that you're saying about him. Is it possible that you just had a bad day?
Yeah, I had a bad day. Sorry, I have to leave because someone's coming in here to play the piano.
Okay. So wait, before you go, is the honeymoon? Huh? Okay.
She said she's out.
There it goes.
Let Doug play the piano, like Motley Crue, like Theater of Pain, Home Sweet Home. Let Douglas like boo 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 boo.
That's all I can take. This is making me dizzy. This any other time and the conflict would be welcome, but I promised Doug that no shady stuff. And oh my God, he may interpret that as shady. I did not
That's fine. You know, like Doug, dude, we all know Douglas is on the level, right? Like he gets it, right? He just gets it.
Well, I mean, the whole thing about $250. I mean, I wonder how Bradley got a hold of that.
Look, Dougie Pooh just said his heart's of gold. Right?
Yeah,
You know,
Doug, you told Sands about the $250. You told him about
It was something you will put that out publicly at some point.
Gold. I had to run away high, so I wouldn't go home low. 'Cause when things went right, doesn't mean they were always wrong. Come on,
That's
Okay.
wrong.
Okay.
You'll never be
You're
left
such a
all alone. Take me to your heart. Feel me in your bones.
Are we about? I'm a,
careful. We're gonna get a
Frank's gonna sleep on the
DMCA
couch
complaint
tonight.
with that incredible rendition there.
And I'm coming off this long and winding road. Come on, Hackle! I'm on my way. You fucks all left me hanging. Just
I don't know that song.
home, sweet home. You fuck, you're all fucks. You're all fucks. I went in, you all fucking suck. You're all shit.
I've got another song brewing. And it's an '80s classic too. And I know some of you will recognize it right away. What?
It's home sweet home. You fucks, you left me hanging.
I don't know that song.
We gotta talk about what we read, right? I mean, what's going on?
Oh, okay, yeah.
I don't think this is even a fucking literary podcast at this point.
All right,
Well, this is
who
the
is
therapy
about
session.
to? Who's about to?
Go. What? I'm on my way.
So,
Anne looks very impressed at your singing.
Yeah.
and do you have something to say
Well, about what?
about anything? Is the honeymoon?
About everything and nothing.
Shut up. Is the honeymoon
About
almost
everything.
over? Are you frustrated with me? Did I hurt you, baby? What's wrong?
No, wow, I'm not mad at you, Jeremy. Nobody's mad at you.
Yeah, they
I
are.
think Doug is.
Everybody's mad at you, Jeremy.
Hey.
Well, if Doug is ready to come back on, as we said, but he's scared of me, so he's not going to come on and tell you whether he's mad or not. Too bad.
You know, you're looking as good as an action figure.
I'm a dreamer.
All right. Frank, what have you been reading?
Heart of gold.
No thing.
Run away high, so I wouldn't come home low. Just when things went right.
Can you imagine someone just clicking on the stream at random right now?
Yeah, you really are looking as good as an action figure, though.
Just take this.
What does that even mean?
It means I can't say what it means.
Are you comparing her to a sex object, to a Barbie doll?
Oh no!
What's wrong with you?
Singer, take me in your heart.
I'm the lecherous creep. Remember?
Fill me to your bones.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Just
Anyway.
take this song. You'll never be left.
I don't know this song. Okay, I'm not closing with this
on
song.
He wants you to know it.
I don't know this song.
Way.
And what do you want to say? Wait a minute.
Sweet home.
Wait, that's not it.
All right, someone mute Frank.
Okay. What do you want to say? You got the floor again. You've had the floor all night. Jeez.
You know, I'm scared to even start because I know the minute I open my mouth and actually start to say something, someone's going to start screaming or just drunk waddling, drunk mumbling.
Go ahead.
I think
cut
this is
me.
possibly the most boring controversy in literature.
Well,
That
that's
guy's a douche.
It's
No, I'm
one of the
not.
more bizarre ones, anyway.
Man, that guy's a douche. No, I'm not. You're bitter. That guy's a douche. No, I'm not. You're bitter. That guy's a douche. No, you're bitter. You're the douche. Like,
Yeah.
I think
Yeah,
we
go
pretty
to the
much
doll
know-
versus.
Ah!
I think we
just
pretty much
wanted-
milked that for all it's worth. You know, you can't have a good controversy with, you know, somebody who just quotes the dude in response to everything you say.
Yeah, but it
It's
was
just-
funny.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it's a bit. I mean, I found it's a lot better just to say stupid shit to people when they try to come at you, like, I fuck your dad,
Oh,
instead of actually.
I
Exactly.
swear to God,
responding.
we appreciate you coming on, Doug. I'm sorry. Okay. But anyway,
Well, you know what, Jeremy? You got him. You got him. You had him on the show. You can say that forever. Nobody can take that away from him.
yeah, but him and his buddies might flag it down, or his buddies might flag it down. Sans buddies might flag it down or something. I mean,
If Sans flags us down, it's because he's mad we made fun of him again.
but anyway,
Like Regina said, if you wanted him on here, you probably knew that he wasn't the kind of person who would do that, right?
not necessarily, because see, I will get someone on because they seem impossible to bring on.
Right. So, well, let's just say if he does that, he's just proven me right. So for me, it's a win-win. I don't know.
Okay, at least as long as I download it first, sure. Oh boy. But anyway, okay, so yeah, I know that Gregor always looks forward to this, and it always gets brushed under the rug. Gregor, talk about what you've been reading, because that is what the show is supposed to be about, and somehow we always manage to get away from it. So Gregor, and then Regina, because she probably needs to go soon, and then okay.
Yeah, we're keeping my cat up.
Oh, well, if we're keeping the cat up, everything must stop.
I just woke him up again by laughing. I'm sorry, Izzy.
So I haven't really talked about the short stories that I've read this month. I'm just going to read them very quickly, the titles.
Yeah.
From the last time we talked about them, not the entire list that I've read this month.
No, everything.
Everything? Okay.
Everything.
Hold on a second. The Compendium of Sten by F. Paul Wilson. My Uncle Makes Dolls to Replace Souls in Hell by Brandon Faircloth.
Yeah, that's great.
Was that
Paris. What?
Gregor, was that good? Is that worth everything that Jeremy stopped the show for?
My Uncle Makes Dolls to Replace Souls in Hell?
Yeah. That one.
That's truly not really a short story, I guess. It's the first chapter of a book. Good as a short story.
But like there's more to it that we're just
like it reads like a short story. I thought it was a short story collection after I read the first chapter and realized it was not. It's on the list anyways.
Like it's stifling. It's stifling. There's more to it, and there's no more to it.
There's I haven't read the whole book yet, so I don't know what beyond that concept.
But there's no more to be imbibed from it, right? Like you read what there is, and there's no more currently.
Yes.
That's frustrating. Okay, continue.
Yeah. Okay, the Parasite from Protospace by Brett Peterson. Ziki Chanjo by Mark Gunk. I Should Have Been a Pair of Ragged Claws Scuttling Across the Floors of Silent Seas by J.R. Hamantashen.
Well, wait a minute. That's a line from what is it? That's not the name of a collection, is it? That's
the name of it's the name of a short story, but it's also a line from a song or something. We established this at one point in time.
Did we establish this? I don't remember it.
Yeah.
What is the name of that poet? The guy who wrote
poem, right? It was a line from a poem.
Yeah. I don't remember his name. Okay.
Yeah, I don't either. Try the New Candy by Aaron Beauregard. The Enduring Chill by Flannery O'Connor. Killing Bernstein by Harlan Ellison. The Skin Game by Jack Ketchum. Sisters by Brian Evanson. Room Tone by Brian Evanson. Summoning the Memory Eaters by Brett Peterson. The Burn Artist by Jack Ketchum. The White Dove by Gregory Miller. The Steam Dancer 1896 by Caitlin R. Kiernan. Billy Sally by Brett Peterson. What's Expected of Us by Ted Chiang. The Trillionaire Tater Tots Caused Me Gay, and one of them is Juggalo by Dougliette Juliet.
It's still funny, and I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Old Scroat by Frank J. Edler.
Yeah.
All the Stars in the Sky by Bruce Taylor. A Very Short Story by Ernest Hemingway. Bang Maid by Neil Bimbo. Gathered Dust by W.H. Pugmire. Your Kiss of Corruption by W.H. Pugmire. The Comforts of Home by Flannery O'Connor. Boys by Rick Moody. From Beyond by H.P. Lovecraft. You Baleful God by W.H. Pugmire. Time of Twilight by W.H. Pugmire. The Coffin House by Robert Aikman. Coffin by Philip Fracassi. Barbara Sue Dockers by Thomas Kleckler. The Doom That Came to Innsmouth by Brian McNaughton. For Most of My Sad Life, I Figured I Would Just Die Alone by J.R. Hamantashen. So that's where I'm at. I probably got 2 more to go.
I applaud your dedication to the short story month, my friend.
Wow,
That's a list, but what just stands out to you? Like, you know, without like digging deep, like of that list you just rattle off, like what stands out to you?
The Doom That Came to Innsmouth by Brian McNaughton was really good. The Brian Evanson stories are good. The W.H. Pugmire stories are good. But as far as one that really stood out was the Doom That Came to Innsmouth by Brian McNaughton. But that might be a recency effect thing, but I wouldn't say so. Let me see what else was good. My uncle makes dolls to replace souls in hell. Had a great concept.
Okay.
And then
I want to read the fuck out of that thing.
Yeah, and then the where was the other one here?
The Edward Lee, like, because the Edward Lee like stands out to me, like of the things that I've read.
Oh, it's Short Story Month?
Yeah.
I didn't know you were participating.
Well, no, I wasn't, but like of the things I've familiar to me in the list you rattled off.
Well, I didn't have any Edward Lee in here.
I thought there was an Edward Lee. My bad. I thought there was.
Yeah. Wait, there was another one that was particularly interesting or good. I mean, I always like Flannery O'Connor, right? But damn, where is the one? Summoning the Memory Eaters has a good concept, and that was good. And let's see, Boys by Rick Moody was something that Ben would probably like. It's more of like an experimental piece. That was good. So yeah, I think the one that really stands out the most is the Doom That Came to Innsmouth, even though it was like a H.P. Lovecraft pastiche type of thing, but it had a very What's that?
I like pastiche. Like, I'm interested in your reaction, like specifically because you were reading short stories for March, right?
Right. Oh, May rather. Yeah.
Or May. Yeah. So I am particularly, because it's not really how I read necessarily. So I'm interested in your reaction to, anything you had that like was particularly good that you read for the month of May because you were reading that way.
Well, like I said, the McNaughton one was really particularly good. Oh, the one that was really good was the one that Dog talked about, the title. I Should Have Been a Pair of Ragged Claws Scuttling Across the Floors of Silent Seas by J.R. Hamantashen.
Yeah.
That was really good as well. It had an awesome concept. It was like a guy that was suicidal would join this online group. That he'd met these people online.
Yeah.
That was like a group to prevent each other from committing suicide. So they all make a pact that if anybody in that group commits suicide, that the other people in the group would kill that person's family.
Interesting. Yeah, that sort of like has to feel like my particular interest lean towards the I make dolls in hell, so like my family doesn't have to suffer or whatever the fuck.
Yeah, that was a good story, and that looks like it's going to be a pretty interesting.
It's an interesting
collection,
but it's like there's more to it that hasn't come to be yet. Correct?
Yeah, I mean, it seems as if the the first chapter that involves that concept of making the dolls in hell or whatever, that concept. It seems like that's like kind of like a setup to a like an episodic adventures of this girl and her uncle dealing with various different supernatural threats.
Yeah.
Is kind of how it seems, right? I mean, I don't know if Jeremy's read more into that book or not, but that's how it seems to me.
Yeah.
And it seems like there might be an overarching kind of connective tissue that might have to do with the doll piece. But the fact that, I mean, that first chapter in the book read like a short story to me that was pretty much done.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then I realized after the fact that it was really, a
that
novel.
was in the context of this podcast, that title and concept grabbed me particularly.
Yeah, it's. I mean, what I read was good. I mean, I'm going to go back to it and read the rest of it. But the Brian McNaughton story, that was really good. I mean, he's one of my. He's written one of the best books I think I've ever read, at least in the horror genre. That Throne of Bones book. I think I've talked about that on here before.
Yeah,
but yeah. So he wrote that, and this story was excellent. So in addition to, I'm supposed to only be reading short stories in the month of May, but I did read a huge amount of a book called The Messengers. It's related to owls and UFOs, like a nonfiction book.
Fuck yeah! What'd you think of it?
That Regina recommended.
Yeah.
I'm like 85% through it, and I'm enjoying it quite a bit so far. I mean, it's a bit repetitious or whatever, but I mean, I like this type of subject matter. I mean, it's like not as good as say something like the Mothman prophecies, but it is keeping my interest, and I do look forward to returning to it when I get in bed to read for the evening. So
Hell yeah!
So I mean, and I also just like weird stories like that about people having weird encounters with UFOs or owls or whatever the case may be. I mean, it's kind of like something that I enjoy in general to read about. So yeah, I like it.
Yeah, I'm glad you're reading it. It's such an interesting book. It's really fun.
Yeah, I like that. There's some topic on it, and you're following through on it. But to be a little self-indulgent, like where are you with Hanover?
Oh, okay. I thought you were going to talk about your scrote story.
Well, we could talk about that too, because you delved into some of my short stories. But I'm like really more curious about where you are with your own Hanover Block stuff.
So yeah, so the final book in the series has been written for the most part for a while. I mean, I thought it was done. I had somebody read it. They said that maybe it's not done, so I have to go back and write a couple of scenes to flesh it out. So I'm probably, the one of the scenes I had to write is, they're both fairly long scenes, I guess, right? And so I'm about maybe halfway to 3/4 of the way through one, then I've got to go write the other one. It's kind of like a thing where I don't like to add stuff to a book, and I've been putting it off because it's just being stubborn dummy,
Yeah.
But I'm finally biting the bullet and writing the stuff that I think it will make it better. But I kind of was being a big baby and being stubborn about it. So
is this like son of like material?
Well, I mean, oh, you mean as far as like the first half of that?
Like where are you particularly writing in the whole series?
Well, if you haven't read the Sun one, right? You've only read.
No, I've read the Hanover and the what's the second one? The Brides.
Yeah. So you've yet to read Sun, right? So that one's out.
Right.
Yeah. So this one is Return to Hanover Block.
Yeah, that's the one we're waiting on, right? Return.
Yeah. So I mean, it's gonna be, it's also gonna be the longest of the four.
Okay.
By far, I guess. you know. So, you know, it's gonna wrap it all up. I mean, it wraps it all up, you know. And I thought you were asking whether or not like it was as disturbing as the first half of Sun, and you know, you haven't read that. You haven't read that yet, so you don't know.
I have not gotten there yet, but you know, like having like delved into the Hanover Block stuff, like I'm curious more now, being in the middle of this stuff is like, I know you've got other stuff like Taboogasm and stuff. Like, is there like, are you just all immersed in this Hanover Block stuff, or are you like less focused on it? Like, where are you outside of Hanover Block stuff?
Well, I've got like you know, so I did, you know, to kind of take a detour, and I wrote like a trilogy of like novellas that are kind of all have a similar theme, or if they're all connected by a particular geographical, you know,
implication.
Yeah, kind of thing, right? So I mean, so I want to release that at some point, but I got to get the Hanover Block thing out first, you know, because people, there are like at least 3 people that want to read it. So, you know, so then, yeah, so I've got that, you know, so I've got a fair amount of stuff that I want to release that have already been written. I just need to make, you know, to edit them and make them pretty. Right? Yeah. But then I also got an entirely, you know, huge project that I want to get to as well. That's related to, I don't know. I mean, it's maybe Hanover Block adjacent type of a thing, I guess, you know, but not in the same universe, but it has a lot of maybe some of the conspiratorial weird stuff going on.
Are you feeding into like, because we're all talking about this now, like are you sort of feeding in your world to Godless at all?
I mean I'll put stuff on Godless, you know, you know, I don't have a response yet related to that. I mean, we went through the process of you know, doing the contract and everything, but I was like, okay, so what do I actually need to do? Like, what format do I need to send you? And I'll send it to you. And that's really what I'm waiting on.
Right. But you were never exclusive to Kindle necessarily, right?
Oh, I mean, I don't, you know, no, the Hanover Block stuff is not exclusive to Amazon.
Yeah, so you're
it's not in Kindle Select or anything like that.
Right, you're already primed up to be on Godless.
Oh yeah. I took my stuff out of like the exclusive stuff on Amazon a long time ago.
Yeah, that's so cool. Like I think my stuff, the things I left at line to Godless exclusively, like just happened to work out that way at the right time. But I
wouldn't be opposed to putting an exclusive thing on Godless, you know.
Right, but you just want to be wide, quote unquote, as they say, right? Like just
right, yeah.
Elbow Kobo and all this. Like if you're not exclusive to Amazon, then why not be wide entirely?
Right.
And let Godless be a part of that, which I think, you know, I mean, Drew, he's just so open to, you know, anything that is beyond Godless, that's or Amazon specifically, that's open wide. So I mean, it just seems like your pump is primed to get on board with that stuff, you know. And
I mean, I think that the audience or whatever would enjoy those Hanover books.
100%. I think Godless. There's been a couple of writers that I know that like have been trying their hand at being wide or whatever, and I'm like, just fucking give it to Drew, dude. Like, you're already like out of that fucking system for Amazon, and just fucking give it to him too. And it just only lends, you know, to the platform and everything like that. Like, just be part of Godless. Whether it's
I mean, I would definitely like to get some stuff on there, and I would definitely, you know, put a.
But you haven't launched anything off of there specifically yet, huh?
No.
Because I have like you know, my first short story collection, like I yanked it off of KDP and Amazon and everything, that like made it like Godless exclusive and revamped it, all the shit up, like had like nothing but like huge success doing that, like selling copies that would never have sold otherwise. Like, you know,
That's nice.
Yeah, it's a great thing. So I'm just I learned about it through the Quiet Place, and I've just been a champion of it since then.
Yeah, I mean, I hope to get something on there. You know, it'd be nice to have those that series on there. And I mean, I would put the last book on there. You know, I mean, as a like a windowed exclusive type of thing, right? I would say, oh, let's put it on there for a month or something, or 2 months before putting it elsewhere or something.
Yeah, I think he's
you
in
know,
like type of thing too. Like he doesn't want like exclusive, but if even if you give that dude like 3 months
right.
exclusivity, like he's a very appreciative, and he will like he has such a great platform and influence. You know, when you put your stuff up with him and doing his weekly spotlights. I think he's doing British Invasion this week. So
Yeah, I mean, he's got a really good feel for marketing and everything. I'm like on the
I think
the mailing list or whatever. Yeah, it's really good.
That's where he excels. Like when Regina went up on there, he did the oh my god, it was like the uncensored.
She's the queen of Godless.
Oh, she's totally, but it's like that thing. Like I think that's sort of like you have to like give him stuff and figure out what he's gonna do on a spotlight week or whatever. And I guess we could talk to Regina since she's available at our fingertips for that type of thing. Like, you know, like, here's my stuff and how we're going to spotlight this stuff. But I think that's the key with Godless right now is getting on their spotlight weeks and you can really move some fucking titles. When Drew's
Regina also is a writing machine.
She's a writing machine. Regina, are you out there?
Yeah. Well, the thing is that I had one story that was supposed to be exclusive to a paperback collection. And I was like, well, I could make this a digital exclusive on Godless because it's not suitable for the Kindle store, but it could be in the paperback and they couldn't do anything about it. So I figured I'd throw that up on Godless. And then I think I wrote another one that I decided to make exclusive to Godless, so I went really hardcore with it. And then I had the third one, which was the one that was pulled down from Smashwords and was all controversial and shit. Yeah. So those three I kind of strung together.
Purpose, right?
What's that?
I said you did that on purpose, right?
Yes, of course I did. Of course. I really wanted to see what the boundaries were, and I found them. And then I got really mad that I found them, and I was like, hey, what do you mean the stove is hot? Fuck you. I'll touch it if I want.
But yeah, but roll.
Yeah, I feel like, if you get these kind of packages together where it's like 3 pieces of work or 4 pieces of work, like, I don't know, Hanover block, and then just send him a Mobi and an EPUB and a PDF of all of them, and then just say, to me, I didn't even design a week. I didn't even intend for them to be released over the course of a week. I thought he'd release them over the course of like a month or a couple of months or something, but instead he got these 3 pieces of work and he's like, okay, great, here's what we're gonna do. Oh, and I gave him like 2 other short things too. He's like, here's what we're gonna do is we're gonna do a featured spotlight week. And it's like, okay, cool. So he's really cool and really flexible, and he really just he runs a great show, and he does a great job, and I really admire what he's doing. He really does give a great platform for people to just write whatever the fuck they want. It's great.
Yeah, it's a real nice looking site for sure.
Yeah, I mean, as I discovered his platform through the Quiet Place, like I was like, that's really interesting, and I gave him a platform on Bazong as well, and learn more about it, and it just seemed like the more I talked to the more you talk to him, the more he sells his shit, and the more you rally around him. And the more I wanted to give him something, I already had, like when I did the Scared Silly thing. That was something I was already contemplating pulling off of KDP and out of concerns for its content and blah blah blah, 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 blah. Like he came along at the right time. So like I re-edited that and did new cover and stuff. And like, Drew, I'm just gonna give this to you. I feel like it's a more comfortable place for this book to exist. And man, it did gangbusters out. Just being a Godless exclusive. Like this is not going to be a KDP no more. Like it's just going to be, as far as digital content's concerned, it's all through Godless, and he was appreciative of that. And I think I reaped some benefit of being exclusive through Godless early on.
Right. And you're also reaping the benefits of the limited choice too, right?
Right. Yeah, it's there, and I still have the availability of paperback, which I've never had, digitally, like, or online. Speaking, like, I've never sold books online. When I sell books specifically, paperback books, that's all at events.
Right.
Do that. This is not really an online sort of thing. So, I'm dismissive of that in that context. So, I thought, like, especially Scared Silly, that's my first real fucking release, and I just kind of revamped it, re-edited it. And man, it sold great for like such a limited market. They just never would have sold what it did. If Drew didn't do what he did and me giving it a little like boost for what it is. So like, and it inspired me to do, like, I have this new release coming out called Uncomfortable Shorts in June, exclusive to Godless. Uncomfortable Shorts, exclusive to Godless, same model. I will release it through paperback. Best way is just to find me out there for the paperback version, but it's totally exclusive to Godless until at least until like fucking next year or something, some shit. But right. I want to give it totally. I just want 100% for digital ebook. I want to give it its chance on Godless. It's the best platform. I can give it to you for 89 cents, which is 10 cents cheaper than I could ever imagine selling it for on Kindle.
Right.
And I get a way better cut of the, that's just me personally. I got a way better cut of that 89 cents. So like we all fucking win on Godless. And Godless has just like everybody's rabid for it. It has just an eager, hungry fan base for buying up horror fiction. So it's like it's just like a no-brainer for me to be there right now.
Oh yeah.
Doing whatever it is that I'm doing.
So, speaking of selling your paperbacks at conferences or trade shows or whatever the case may be, are there any coming up this calendar year that you're going to be going to?
Yeah, that one's like I want to open it. I really want to open it up. I was hoping to do Scares That Care this July, the end of July, and that didn't pan out. I'm doing something different, just very personal to writing. Wise, there's no sales. But I'm looking to do like what I've done in the past with the Beers and Fears type of stuff. I'm looking for local Northeast Jersey, PA, sort of signing events. Just keep it small and local as we begin to open up. And learn, like, who's comfortable with what,
right.
It's just a weird year. So just kind of playing it by ear this year, keeping it small. I was kind of hoping to be bigger with the Scares Care thing this year, and it just the way it could have been big, but when we had to make calls, it was just way too early. So I made other calls to do nice small things with my friends intimately. So it'll be sort of a hybrid year, like Yeah, it's those opportunistic August, July, September sort of events where I'll be out there when I can, and as things become available to do is sort of I'm going to tackle this year. Yeah, and then hoping 2022 will be a lot easier and will be a lot back to normal.
That's the hope. So,
Right.
Regina, do you ever go to such things?
You know what? I really just haven't had the fortune to go to really any kind of like big writer conference or anything like that. I've been to like little local ones and writers workshops and things like that. But for real industry events, I just I haven't been around one really.
How about you, Ben?
I haven't.
Yeah. I mean, I've been to the World Fantasy Convention a couple different times, and
Oh, that's fun.
Context is one that I've been to. That's once, and it's like a horror writing convention kind of in Ohio. I think it's defunct now, but that was decent, But the horror writing convention is pretty fun. Not
That's
the horror
cool.
writing, no, the fantasy writing, World Fantasy Award. I'm sorry, it's World Fantasy Award weekend or whatever. That's pretty good. But generally, I don't go to them like annually, like our man Frank does. Because you go to Scares That Cares every year, right? I mean, that's
yeah, I've been there like several years, and I can't I can't undersell like the importance of when we're able to. Like, I understand like pandemic and all this shit, but like when we're able to connect with everybody and do social things like that, like social events, Scares That Care, or whatever it may be. Like
right.
those are huge things to show up at, and maybe only Ben's there, and like we fucking knuckle bust each other at a certain event over a weekend. But like those are huge fucking events to contact over.
What's knuckle bust? Is that like musical masturbation?
When I go like 2 knuckles deep in his anus.
Sophisticated podcast. Is Jeremy
What's
dead?
that?
Yeah, it's like a special connection outside of what we do here regularly on a Friday or Saturday.
So where is Scares That Care?
Scares That Care is down in Williamsburg, Virginia.
Okay. Don't they have a second one that was in like one of the Carolinas or something?
There's Scares That Cares happens like right at the twist of July to August, and right before that is the horror, the world horror, the horror writers convention, the Stokers, are like right before that, and like right after Scares That Cares is typically the extreme splatterpunk, what the fuck they call them, the whatever those words are.
Yeah.
The extreme horror words are like usually the weekend after. Like they all kind of conglomerate.
I might go to Scares That Care sometimes. It seems like I was going to go one year, but I can't
It's
remember.
I mean, obviously we're in weird years right now, but
right. So I think my buddy Evan's Light has been to that before.
Yeah. Just get some tables with some dudes, and you could sell some books. Like that's great for selling some books. With car conventions are weird or whatever. Mostly people go to them for movies and stuff. So when you can key into a thing like Scares That Cares, it tends to have a heavier fan base of people who read books.
Right.
But like just for me, Scares That Cares, because I write and stuff, like just the whole weekend and connecting with horror writers and people just in the genre, like to me that is second to none, and any like sort of opportunity to sell over that 2 or 3 day weekend is just bonus. I think that sort of has to be your expectation going into a Scares That Care, but it is really, for anybody writing, second to none as a large event of that scale.
Yeah. So is it not happening this year at all, or you just not?
No, it is
because Frank's there, not going to be there.
It is happening this year. I was sharing a table with a writer, and we had to like sort of make that decision early about whether we were going to go or not. Like I was kind of in, but it was really his, on his card as a speaker.
Yeah.
So he was a little more apprehensive, and he's like, let's not. So I bailed out, and at the point, we bailed out. Obviously, since then, a lot of stuff has eased up significantly.
Yeah.
Where our apprehensions are, they're better now as far as that convention is gonna. But we're gonna have something more intimate amongst our writer people. We're gonna make good on that weekend regardless, with a lot of writer friends in Florida. But I mean, as far as 2022 goes, and beyond, like Scares of Care is just a tremendous opportunity for writers. It's a great charity event.
Mm-hmm.
On any front, and beyond that, it's just an amazing opportunity for writers, specifically horror writers, to network together. I can't not emphasize how important that specific event.
It's nice to meet people face to face. So speaking of which, have you ever met Phoenix face to face, Ben?
No, I've not met Phoenix. I've met a lot of people, but not Phoenix face to face.
Well, Ben, have you?
He lives in Salt Lake City, and I live in Iowa.
Oh, I thought you guys lived closer to each other. Okay.
Where's Jeremy?
No.
You're like totally bailed. Jeremy totally bailed on us?
Yeah, I don't know where he went. Did he pass out?
He might have passed out, yeah.
He might have got his pills.
So have you ever met Neil Bimbo in person, Regina?
I wish I
Oh
could.
no,
I bet like Regina and Neil, like I bet that's a convention. And what is the Hallmark convention for people like Regina and Neil?
I don't know.
What is that?
It's probably like an erotic writer convention or something, right?
Regina doesn't know.
I don't think there is one. I mean,
Oh
there's
my
probably
gosh.
some kind of. I mean, it's like this is such a. Most of the people writing in erotica don't want to have their faces connected with their work.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't. That's why I use a deep fake.
Right.
So it's like it's not like we're itching to congregate with each other, and
my wife is into that shit. Like not necessarily, like touches on it and everything. And she loves
touches on what?
Not erotica, but like I don't know how you even would categorize it. Somewhere between Harry Potter and erotica, I guess is where my wife reads stuff. But
paranormal romance.
Yeah, I guess, but not even nearly there. It's not like the smutty stuff, but it's not like I don't know where she is, but she's definitely got this like pure. Do you know Pure Romance or? She definitely.
That's like a. Wait, isn't that sponsor that sells dildos and shit that you have videos on?
Yeah, she definitely has a readers group that they read these fucking things, coffee mugs and dildos, right? Like I'm like, if I could sell my fucking Death Gets a Book coffee dildo, like I would make bank on this shit. But that's like where she reads it, and like, and she started, trying to like hook up with people at Barnes and Nobles at signing events before the pandemic hit and it got curtailed. But there's like some huge signing event, like some fucking romance. It's like we're smutty, but we're fucking classy. I don't know how to fucking categorize what the fuck she reads. But
they sell dildos with books.
Yeah, it's like
strippers,
bucks, but we're like classy. It's in a classy dildos. Like we use dildos in a classy fucking way. I don't know fucking categorize this shit, but if only I could get my wife to read my shit. You know what I mean? Like I don't.
Oh my god, yeah.
What she reads, but it's a little more smuttier than I put out. But I can't say like just fucking read giant black dildo fucking shit, because it's not that neither. I don't know. I have no idea how to categorize really where it is that she exactly reads, but it's somewhere in there in that category. Oh man, I wish I could remember the names of the chicks she writes. I can't even remember that. It's awful. I'm just an awful person. So it's up to you. You know, it's all in you. Words and dildos. It's all in you, Regina.
It's all on me.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
Yeah,
I guess
Regina.
I don't know. I would really like to go to a writers convention. I probably prefer to go to a horror convention. But as far as erotica, I feel like people are really dismissive of erotica as a genre and as a form of valid literature because of the way the American perception of pornography has been shaped over the years. And I talk about this a little bit in the foreword of Familiarity. But it's really interesting to me how it's like, you know, all forms of literature are valid and worth, you know, arguing for in court, except erotica. So it's interesting, you know, and I've talked a little bit before too about how I'm careful to even call myself an erotica writer. I'm careful about it, and I'm careful about calling specific works of mine erotica because I think that could eventually blow back on the books and get them pulled from libraries if my words were cited improperly, depending on the context. So, you know, I think it's just, I think it's a tricky kind of a situation, you know, when you're writing in that genre. And so I think it's just it prevents networking. Really, it's also just such a competitive area to be writing in that it prevents networking, and that there are a lot of authors who are, you know, paranoid about others stealing their ideas, which I think is always very silly because I don't know. I just feel like, you know, if your idea is so good, you'd be writing it instead of talking about it all the time, you know? So I feel, you know, it's like, it's one of these things where it's just, I just don't really, you know, I don't worry about it. And people shouldn't worry about it as much. And I think people should try to network with each other. And then just, you know, I really do look forward to the opportunity to go to lots of different conventions and stuff like that. I really am looking forward to that. Now that I've got this Regina Watts brand, it'll be much more fun to go out there.
Yeah.
Should I talk about what I read? Because I need to go
Yes.
to bed soon.
Yes,
Let
you
me
should tell us.
Let me talk about some of the books that I'm reading. I'm really not reading much, actually, now that I think about it. Let's see. I started Hurricane Season by Kelby Losack, which is a very short book. We had him on for his book Heathenish just the other week, and it was a great conversation. And so I'm really excited to read this. This is like a limited print run of this book. There's only like 200 copies in this print, I guess. So if you,
How'd you have it?
yeah,
Did you buy it, or did somebody be
yeah.
nice?
Oh no, I bought it. I bought it from his website, which is the only place you can buy it, to my knowledge. So,
Oh, fancy.
yeah, you got to check that out. It's cool, man. It's sweet. It's like numbered and signed and stuff. It's very fun. So I got that I'm reading, and then this morning I just kind of like suddenly got into a mood for some noir. So I started reading some Dashiell Hammett books, which he's just an old favorite of mine. I love Dashiell Hammett.
Which one are you reading?
I just started Maltese Falcon again this morning, which is so good.
Okay.
See, that's the thing, is that I really consider myself a pulp fiction writer before I'm anything now. And so I feel like, you know, I write pulp across all kinds of genres, and I feel like definitely in the way I approach pulp, like the brisk, like, man, I just love the way Dashiell Hammett moves a plot along. He really makes it snappy, you know. It's like every chapter really does have something going on. And I just love the way his, like, certainly Sam Spade is just never allowed to sleep in Maltese Falcon. He's always getting his sleep completely interrupted or stopped every time he starts to lay down. Somebody knocks at his door. This is great. Just one of those subtle protagonist tortures. Yeah,
I mean, I like Chandler more than Hachette. Oh, damn it, whatever his freaking name is. But yeah, that was a good book. I enjoyed it.
Yeah. Have you read like Red Harvest or Thin Man? One of those?
No, I've not read either of those.
Oh, they're both really good. Red Harvest is interesting because it's more of like a gangland story, so it's less. It's just more about a mob
type of thing.
Yeah, it's more of like a mob war sort of situation than like an straight detective noir.
Yeah, sounds good.
Yeah, that one's a really good one. And then Thin Man is just like a classic, and it's a good one. And then he like throws in incest and like a spanking reference in there too, and it's just like okay. This is a weird direction. Okay, Mr. Hammett. But that's what you get when you get pulp, I guess.
Yeah.
And let's see, what else have I been reading? El Finito, which I'm still kind of picking away at, which is a harem book, which is kind of just an interesting post-apocalyptic book that's a little different than most harem stuff. And gosh, that's it. I've really been slacking. It's like Jeremy didn't ask me what I was reading for 3 weeks in a row when I was reading a bunch of really interesting fiction, and then this week when I've mostly just been working on
he's been failing. He's been failing.
Yeah,
we're
all mad at him.
Yeah,
we're all mad at him. I was thinking about leaving earlier after telling him abruptly that I was mad at him, but I just wasn't prepared for the barrage of Facebook messages I was going to get as a consequence of that.
Yeah.
Where do we all stand? Where do we all stand on that with Douglas and thing? Like, did that turn anybody off necessarily? Like, I don't understand where the rub is. Like, and Jeremy could have built out before we could understand that all.
I don't really have any different opinion of either Douglas or Anne after that. You know what I mean? Really? I mean,
yeah, but that's like where, like, Gregor, like, I knew you would be receptive to what Douglas writes, and Regina, I know you would be new to what Douglas writes, so I'm scared. I'm interested in because myself and Jeremy are just sort of fans inebriated from the outset. Like, we're just biased. Our opinion is biased to Douglas, from the outset. So, like, and I know Douglas Gregor, like, you've been reading him as of late.
No, I've read him for years.
Yeah. Okay. So you're kind of familiar where he's coming from, but you read the Dougliette stuff recently.
Yeah, I just read Dougliette Juliet this month, but I mean, I've read, I read Terror Mannequin when that came out. Like, I've read most of his stuff as it has arrived.
So what's your take in and amongst all this stuff? Like,
well, I mean, as far as I think that what I've said, I guess is still what I think is that Anne kind of came in on a conversation of fanboys fanboying over this guy, and you were drunk, and it was kind of dude bro-ish, and he's kind of a dude bro-ish kind of writer in a certain sense, right? I mean, I think his work probably appeals more to guys than it probably, you know what I mean? Like, it's kind of like
but like, do you think he needs to be imbibed that way, like as a dude, bro? Like, is that the best way to appreciate Douglas Hackle?
No, but I'm just saying, like, I'm trying to think from what her perspective could be, coming at it, like, without any kind of context, right? You know what I mean? Like,
because
Douglas Hackle's, it's his work is, I mean, I really like it a lot. I mean, I think it's excellent. Funny, and I think it's really professionally edited, and he obviously takes great care in constructing what he's putting together, and blah 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 blah. I mean, I really like his stuff, and he seemed like a cool enough guy to me, or whatever. But I could see where sometimes people are put off by people, shining somebody's balls real hard. I mean,
I just noticed I just noticed Anne is in the comments saying she was trying to get back in, but she can't because Jeremy's gone. So
Yeah.
she says, "Hey, Jeremy is out. He's never going to let me back in. So I'm going back to work. It's too bad because I finally found something nice to say about MC Maggot."
Yeah. I you know, like you have to find Douglas at the right moment or whatever. Like I get it. Like, and I struggle. Like when I first found him, I was like this seems cool, and I had to wrap my head around his stuff better to like get a better appreciation of it, and it probably took longer and made have seemed shittier of me also in the time, but like I'm a disciple of his work.
Well, yeah, I mean, you know him also personally to a certain degree, right? I mean, you've met him in person. Jeremy's met him in person. I've read him for a long time. So, I mean, it's kind of like when it's kind of like you're kind of eavesdropping in or, you know, joining a conversation of longtime pals. It's sometimes difficult, right, to appreciate it.
Not expect, like I did not expect Anne to like drop in on him like that, and like.
Well, I mean, I thought it was, you know, like, I can understand maybe where she would be put off by it.
Yeah.
But as to the reaction that she gave him was a bit much.
Like we continue to try to argue in his favor, like maybe like I get you just got this guy or you may get the shit, but she was combative still, and you know, no fucking harm, no foul. I get it.
Jeremy, come back and end our suffering.
What's that, Regina?
I just feel like there was something personal in there for Anne, where there was some aspect of his personality reminded her of someone that she knew or some experience she'd had that just ran really bad for her. So I feel like, you know, we should probably just chalk this up to trauma, basically.
I am with you on that 100%. I'm with you on that.
It reminded her of some real horrible human from her life or something.
Regina, did you have any exposure at all whatsoever to Douglas Hackle's books before tonight?
I had not really. You guys had talked about him, and that was pretty much the limit of it. So I had read a little bit of The Hottest Gay Man Ever Killed in a Shark Attack, and it's really funny. I really like it so far, and it's really I think it's a great, really fun example of bizarro fiction, and it kind of also, there are aspects of it where it's like I really feel like, you know, splatterpunk and bizarro are such closely related genres in a lot of ways. And I feel that aspect of his work very strongly, I guess, because I work in splatterpunk more commonly myself. So it's interesting, you know, it's a really interesting author to read, and I'm looking forward to reading more of his work, especially if you guys can figure out his new pen name.
Yeah. I mean, to me, it seemed like you're just so loosey goosey, and you're supposed to funny. You're supposed to take him, you know, at a drop of a dime. Like you're not supposed to give him much thought.
Yeah, there's like a part where he talks about how every instance of the word "the" in the last chapter is turned into a little blue bat and flown off someplace, and it's just, I don't know. It's just, to me, it's cartoony. It's like if Kurt Vonnegut wrote cartoons, you know.
Totally. So I was really taken aback by his reaction to him, like where I could not understand anybody, you know, understanding him anything other than being silly and a cartoonish type of a personality. Especially like I have a very, very similar collection of short stories coming out soon through Godless. Like it was almost like, you know, for me, like people are really not going to get this, but you know, I'm not going to diminutize like Anne's experience to whatever Douglas is fucking out there, but I do, you know, in my heart of hearts, think she just kind of got the dude wrong, you know, wrong thing at the wrong time. I would
agree that that's the case. Yeah.
Yeah, it seems, you know, it's hard to.
I don't want to be like a gaslight guy or anything. Like, that's fucking wrong. I mean, like, I just kind of think in this instance, you got the guy wrong.
It's hard to judge somebody when you've just listening them talk about themselves in a 15-minute interview. You know, it's you
especially
can't
when
really
you
know.
step in, like you're step in the middle of it, which is I think that was happened to her, and I think Anne's an intelligent enough person, like she'll be able to wrap her mind around this in another week or two, but I think all in all, it's just an unfortunate set of circumstances. It was what I think has happened here.
Yeah, it's miscommunication.
So, Ben, what did you read?
So,
Oh, he left.
Did he out? Ben's out.
Oh no,
Jeremy.
He's not even
falling asleep. Oh,
me.
Ben, what did you read this week?
Oh, sorry, I didn't realize you were talking to me. I kind of spaced out.
I wouldn't blame you.
I finished reading Gary Shipley's Terminal Park. It's a hard book to explain. It takes place during this apocalypse where the human population has exploded to ridiculous amounts, and that people are just like killing each other randomly. And the main character, his name is Call, and he takes shelter in this tower in Mumbai, I believe it is. And while he's in there, he watches a piece of video art called 195 Days, and which is like an interrogation of a piece of art called Psycho Barn, which is a real piece of art. It's I thought you were dead, Jeremy.
I thought it was too.
He looks like it.
Yeah,
what are we talking about?
And Psycho Barn is a real piece of art, which is like a recreation of the Psycho House with wood from a barn that was taken apart, and the video art shows a bunch of murders happening inside, and there's a lot of like philosophical digressions, a lot of like contemplating the themes of the film Psycho and things like that. It's almost like a piece of theory fiction. It's I'm still kind of trying to wrap my head around it, but I did enjoy reading it.
What was it?
Terminal Park.
Oh yeah, we talked about that earlier.
Yeah, and I've also just read more of Nausgaard's My Struggle. Other than that, I didn't read too much.
What about Mr. Frank?
What about
What'd you read this week?
No, I've been reading what was it? The Florida Man guy. I've been reading book 2 of the Florida Man guy. Hogzilla. That was
the what? Wait, you put book 2 of what?
Of Florida Man.
Florida Man, the book 2.
Florida Man. Okay.
Jeremy knows, Jeremy knows. Florida Man. It's
it's not like you said Florida Man.
No, Florida Man. Everybody knows the Florida Man stories. Like anything.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about now. Yeah.
Greg, it's almost 2 a.m. man. Do you need to
It's
go?
Memorial Day, man. I don't have to work tomorrow.
Word.
Go ahead.
Yeah, we're good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Anyway, Florida Man, book 2, Hogzilla is what I've read. In addition to, I just finished up. Dude, I know you'll love Justin Grimble.
I love that man.
Yeah, oh my god! Like you just want to rub his butt, type of guy. I've hung out with Justin, and I just love the dude specifically. But I just read Bird Castles from him, which is sort of a take on Sag Harbor. If anybody knows anything about Sag Harbor, Long Island, which I've now said, now that I've read it, is my second favorite book about Sag Harbor, Long Island, because I love Colson Whitehead's Sag Harbor, specifically about Sag Harbor, Long Island, in and around the 80s. Just sort of life recollections of life and stuff, and just shit that I've gone through. And it's just amazing to me that anybody can take and recollect mundane life back into a book that other people can relate to, and Justin Grimble is like the master of fucking doing that.
I've never read anything by him.
You've never read Justin Grimble?
Oh man.
There's two ways to read Justin Grimble. He's the only poetry I will ever read by anybody is by Justin Grimble. I will highly recommend To the Day I Die. As far as a poetry book, Minivan Poems. It's fucking fantastic. It's a whole collection of poetry about fucking minivans, and it's just fucking brilliant. And then beyond that, Naked Friends, the Party Lords, I think is his new bizarre fiction story.
I've heard of that one. I've seen that.
Hard Bodies is the one I read last year, and I really liked that.
Hard Bodies is great. Justin Grimble is great at writing poetry that's prose. He's just like sort of I can't even describe what he writes, but it's sort of poetry as prose. Like it's
like
breezy.
Gross out. That's what I find is the chiefest thing about his. It's like gross out, but tries to be poetic too. I don't know.
Yeah, not even gross out, but like, I know where you're going, Jeremy. Like, but it's so like easy breezy, uncomfortable, like daily life. Like you would just go out to, say you wake up in the morning, you want a cup of coffee and a bagel. And you would just like read a Justin Grimble sort of poetry prose thing about doing that, and it would be so beautiful. That's sort of what he brings to shit. I don't even know how to describe him other than like even his prose is poetry, and I think you need to wrap your mind around him as a poet. Even though,
man, you sound really drunk. I'm sorry.
Yeah, half of what he does is poetry, prose.
Yeah, you sound really drunk. You sound really drunk, but it's cool. Yeah,
I am really drunk.
I've been noticing it.
You had no place to talk. You went passed out for an hour.
Yeah,
Has it been an hour? Has it been an hour?
Yes,
That
it's been an
was
hour,
more like-
Jeremy.
It was pretty close to an hour.
About
Probably more like 45 minutes.
yeah, about
Wow,
there.
I've been out that long. Jeez.
Yeah.
man.
Yeah. Since at least midnight.
Yeah.
Wow, 2 hours?
No, at least 2 hours. Checked
No
out.
way. Have I really been out?
No, it was only like 45 minutes.
Jeez,
Come on.
Maybe I did die.
Checked out for an hour. An easy hour he's been checked out.
Have I been out for an hour?
No, he typed the word
Pretty
sorry
close.
and well no.
No, that was when he came
That was
back.
just now, yeah.
Wow.
Is that poetry?
Anyway.
Is sorry Doug poetry?
I don't know what it means, but
Sorry, Mom. Sorry, God.
Yeah.
where
Where
were we going with this about Hogzilla? What was
no,
that?
I was just, they were asking me like what I read, like, right? So
Yeah.
I finished up Hogzilla. Jeremy, if anybody knows, book 2 of the Florida Man series, which he kind of called out, like that guy used the same book cover twice, which I was like, I was like, yeah, dude, you did. But then when I went back and looked, like if you dig into the exact cover of book 2, he does use a different picture.
Oh,
it's so crazy. But yeah,
wait. So he's riding a gator in book 1 and a hog in part 2.
Yeah, oh yeah, totally. Yeah. And he does have a distinct. If you actually get the book and read it, the actual cover art does show up of him riding a wild boar as opposed to the gator. That is distinct, but you're not wrong. Like if you just kind of generally look up a Florida man book 1 or 2, like it's just him, the same cover of book 1 and 2.
I don't know, man. It looks like it's a gator on both books to me. It
totally is. But like I said, until you actually start getting into it, where they give you the specific whatever the intended cover art was supposed to be.
I don't know what you mean. I don't know what
but the actual like official cover art is still Florida Man book 1, a little more close up or whatever they did. But did you read book 1 or no?
I haven't read book 1 yet. No, but I'm getting there. Are you sounded like you were about to throw up for a second, were you?
About to throw up? No. No. It wasn't.
It's probably me.
Okay, this is going in a very scintillating direction, but I gotta go to bed. Good night, everyone. I love you all. Good night. Good night.
What do you have to offer to us, Regina, before you go to sleep?
What's that? What?
Regina, before you go to sleep, what do you have to offer up to us?
What do I have to offer up to you? I don't know.
What do you want to knock me out with?
Brush your teeth, eat your vegetables, have a safe Memorial Day. Goodbye.
Years ago. We'll do that. We'll do that.
She just tapped out, man.
So Jeremy, what do you got? What have you been reading?
Oh, what have I been reading? Let's see what it says on Goodreads. Let's see. Okay, Zoltergeist the Poltergeist by Douglas Hackle.
You're not done with that yet?
No, I did finish it. Yeah,
you did finish it. Okay.
Yeah, and it was
I'm like 50% done with Zoltergeist, and I mean I love it. But it's like, do you think Douglas took it to the next level, or do you just sort of do it?
Yes, and I want to see more. I don't want him to leave us.
Yeah,
is that the little mask thing, the little kabuki Tengu thing.
Yeah, I haven't gotten that. Yeah,
that actually like winds into that actually like ties into the plot because like they're wearing little samurai masks to scare the main character. And did I mention that there's an anthropomorphic limousine named Baby Limo in this book? Did I imagine that?
No, I have not got there yet. No.
Yeah. Wow. You can't be 50% in.
About at least 35 or so. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Jeremy is AIDS. Okay.
A walking human-shaped cloud of AIDS.
I did throw up, by the way. Did I mention that?
No, but I'm not surprised.
Yeah,
we just thought you died.
I only had one beer too. It must have been the pills, but so I'm okay though. So anybody, Frank, you probably watched Dark Side of the Ring, I'm guessing, right?
Dark Side? No, I haven't really read that.
I gotta watch Dark Side.
What did I read? I read by some wrestling shit this weekend. I'm not really as maybe as you deem me to be.
Really?
Like, I love like old school wrestling shit, but like it kind of ends with the Undertaker with me. As far as like I'm like Hot Rod to the end and Hulkamaniacs and all that shit.
There you go.
Iron Sheik, like I'm right there with that shit, but like like when it carries beyond that, like
this guy is before them though. That's the thing.
Is it?
Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah, this guy looks like he's just.
Who was he again?
Fritz von Erich. You don't know the von Erich family?
The von Erich family. But I'm like, when I like, because I'm like from like Brooklyn, New York, like so, like my whole experience is like my dad taking me to Madison Square Garden when they.
There you go. Yes.
Like I don't like total WWF, like right. That's
okay, then you'll know this name, the Texas.
But I appreciate,
Tornado.
I appreciate
Tornado.
I appreciate all that Von Erich stuff.
Okay, so you're familiar with the Von Erich dynasty?
Oh yeah, 100% familiar
This
with
is
that.
the dad. He had 6 sons.
Right, yeah.
And now there is only one Von Erich son alive.
Right. Yeah,
all of them died or committed suicide.
Under
It is the
crazy
story I have
You guys
ever
got quite the
heard.
physique.
Right.
Well, back then it was a different standard of physique back in his day. But look,
But there's just crazy circumstances, every one of them.
oh my God! So you if you have never watched Dark Side of the Ring, there is an episode from season 1 of the Von Erich family tragedy. One after another committing suicide so they could go join the other brothers. Oh my God, it's the saddest thing ever. I mean,
It's hard. It's hard. It's really hard.
I mean,
Yeah.
one died when he was 6 years old, electrocuted and face down in the snow, and then the next one died of gastroenteritis when he was overseas touring Japan.
Yeah.
And then the rest of them committed suicide with pills and booze, or a shotgun to the heart, as the Texas Tornado Kerry Von Erich committed suicide with.
The final stuff. Yeah.
You probably remember Texas Tornado Kerry Von Erich the most because he was the only one that made it to WWF or WWE.
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah. Total, like, I remember like them talking, like, I was all about the Bobby Backlund, Iron Cheek, and all that time. But I remember the talk about the Von Erichs, but they were like a different league. But I understood they were, separate from what was WWF or whatever the fuck at the time. But I remember, like, I understood, like, they were as important, super important to the whole wrestling federation.
Yeah. Well, they so this was about that and how kind of how he grew up and everything, rough upbringing and just what he went through, losing one son after another, and I remember the one sole remaining Von Erich who's still alive today, Kevin Von Erich. I remember him saying once on one of these mini documentaries he's done like 3 now about this sole topic of his brothers. He said, I used to have 5 brothers and now I'm not even a brother anymore. Oh my God, man, that is the saddest thing I've ever heard. That's the saddest thing I've ever heard,
Crazy. Did you ever get through, like, I know we've talked about this, but did you ever get through start or finish of the Ballad of Ricky Risotto?
No, but I'm going to. I'm working on it. Yeah, I've gone back to it.
If you have love and appreciation for the Von Erichs,
yeah,
you will fucking love the Ballad of Ricky Risotto. Like, it just played into that whole storyline.
Wow, excellent. Well, that's why I thought that you were like big into wrestling, is because
I was like as a child or as a teenager.
So you didn't carry over to your adulthood.
It really didn't. Like I got up to like the Undertaker. I was like, this is where like I sort of check out or phased out of the whole thing.
Well, I mean, when you talk about the Undertaker, that's like 20, 30 years. So
yeah, it's been a long time. I really like.
When did you check out of the Undertaker?
Myself into, but like when I was a youngling and stuff, like I was really invested into that stuff and got the magazines, and my dad took me to Madison Square Garden, because I live in New York, Brooklyn at the time. So that was just like a sort of like weekend thing, like where everybody's watching on cable television. Like I'm there at those events, and I thank my father for that opportunity to see that kind of shit. And that was it was huge for me, obviously. But I grew up and grew old, and like I say, like when the Undertaker is coming in and being huge, that's sort of when me personally I'm checking out.
Mm-hmm.
What are you doing, Jeremy?
I'm trying to stay. I'm trying to stay up.
Jeremy's cool. Jeremy's cool.
Yeah.
Do all the drugs you need to do, Jeremy.
This is Aussie Sickos. I also read that, and that
You're not showing the screen. Show the screen.
Well, I'm not showing,
Yeah.
showing the screen. What?
You're just seeing your weird face.
Oh, okay. There we go. So Aussie Sickos. I mean, it is what it is. You know, it's that old school grindhouse type vibe in fiction. Simon McCarty bringing the gross out and the violence, and I mean, what more do you want me to say? I mean, you know,
nothing else to say.
And the Dream Master, which I'm too like under the influence to really explain, but it was pretty cool.
What the? I got to know, like Gregor's got to come into this wrestling thing somewhere. Like,
No,
some understanding of it, right?
I don't think so.
I mean, I watched it a little bit back
You
in
were
the
the
day.
Hulkamaniac. You weren't like curling your fists like I'm the Hulkamaniac and tearing up your sleeve.
mean, I've seen some wrestling, and like I was aware of it when it was like super big in the 80s. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
but I wasn't really deep into it.
You didn't have the rubber dolls and the ring and stuff.
Wrestling buddies.
I had I did have 2 action figures.
You had JYD.
It was like,
you had the Junkyard Dog, right?
no, it was like these twin guys with makeup on their face.
Oh, the Road Warriors?
Yeah, I had the Road Warriors. Yeah.
Oh man, the Legion of Doom. They also went by that name. Those
Yeah,
guys-
that's the only wrestling related toys I ever had.
Who are your guys, Jeremy? Like, who are your guys?
Okay, the Ultimate Warrior. I was a little warrior.
Yeah.
I was a Hulkamaniac, and I was a little Stinger. I liked Sting from WCW, and I also later on in like '93, I liked Tatanka, the Native American Tatanka.
Oh, okay, because like when I come in, like I'm in. Like I remember Bob Backlund like being the champ or whatever, and they had to like to give a concession to Andre the Giant, and then it became Hulk Hogan and stuff. But my guy was always fucking Roddy Piper. Like I didn't care if he was a bad guy or a good guy because he played the line. Like I just
like
fucking
Roddy Piper.
love
Hot
Rod.
I cried when he died. I cried when he died.
The whole Piper's Pit with Jimmy Snuka and he fucking knocked the coconut. Dude, I was like petrified. Like, oh my God, he broke this coconut over this guy's fucking head. And I was like petrified as a kid. Only to realize later it was all a gag. But my God, like how that, like the realism of that moment on Piper's Pit played into what I understood to be reality was incredible to me. Oh my God, Piper's Pit was like huge to me. So like when that Undertaker shit finally came in, like I was really like, I get this is all a gag and stuff. So I kind of got out at that, but I loved the heel shit. That's what I loved. I loved the fucking Roddy Piper heel shit. And like right before he died, like I was listening to his podcast. Like he was doing his Piper's Pit podcast like right to the moment he fucking died. And that was like,
when did he die?
Oh, dude, it was only 2012, 2013. Like it was really sudden and unexpected. And he was doing a podcast. Like he was just doing his podcast. He was trying to cash into that I'm selling bubble gum and soda pop. I was just like, I'm buying the soda pop because I can't buy the bubble gum version. Like he was just doing shit like that over eBay and stuff at the time. And when he actually died, it was so like crazy time of internet merchandising, I guess is the best.
I want to go back to the 80s so bad.
Yeah, to call it like it was like easy to, like to grab onto those Iron Sheik when he's like gonna fuck everybody in the ass and break their necks.
Yeah. You know what? I went back and watched WrestleMania 6 a while ago. Hogan versus the Warrior.
Yeah.
And oh my God, it's so sad. They're almost all of them are dead except Hogan now.
Yeah, Warrior's dead. It's fucked up. How is the fucking Ultimate Warrior dead? That's so fucking crazy in my mind.
Warrior dead. Piper dead. Hercules dead. Earthquake dead. Superfly Snuka dead. Who else? Ravishing Rick Rude dead. I mean, it's just.
Who's the champ? Who's the champion of the world right now, Jeremy? I really don't know.
Right now, there's the Universal Champion and the World, the WWE Champion. Which one?
Yeah, but who are those people? Like, I don't even know. Like,
Roman Reigns was the Universal Champion, and he's actually more entertaining than he's ever been from what I've read. I haven't watched in a long time.
There's John Cena, right? John Cena was like
John Cena hasn't wrestled in like a year. He's off doing talk shows. Like guesting for Ellen or something.
Like, was John Cena during his reign, was he bigger than Hulkamania? Or is his Hulkamania been
will ever be bigger than Hulkamania except for maybe Ric Flair?
Ric Flair is the only thing that may rival Hulkamania.
That's what I think. Well, maybe Stone Cold Steve Austin, maybe.
Yeah, I think that might, because like obviously I grew up, Hulkamania and all that shit was shit. But like beyond that, like wrestling graduates past that. So I have no reference, but like I know Steve Austin was a fucking big thing. I know John Cena was a big thing, but I have no compare. Like my kids are like with John Cena, they're like, oh, that's what the fuck, Freddie Fingelhorn's fucking dad is like. Oh, my kids like quantify John Cena, and that's my only way to fucking quantify John Cena, who's probably bigger than being Fred Fingelhorn's father. But that's in my life the only way I have to quantify that gentleman.
By the way, Dollface there said that if you ever want to have her on, she's game. So
for a threesome, or what are we talking about?
Dollface.
Ann is down to be on your show if you're interested.
Ann, yeah. No, I've spoken to Ann, but I'm sure I have to speak to her again to get her on the show.
Yeah,
and they're at asterzinger@gmail.com. Because you make her vomit.
Yeah, I'm definitely sure I've had conversation. But I'm happy to have, you know how the song rolls. Like, I just want to talk to people like you want to talk to people.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, I would give anything to go back to the 80s or 90s right now. I swear, I went to the park the other day and I just prayed to God out loud in front of everybody present. Please, God, just let me do it one more time around, one more roll around. Just let me go back one more time and I'll do everything right, or I'll.
And nobody called the police.
No. Of course he didn't. And of course he didn't. And I pointed out, I don't know, was John, I don't know, 15, 16 or something, or Peter 15, 16. I said, look, you said if I ask for it in Jesus' name, you will do it. Well, here it is, and you don't stand on your word. And I kept saying it, and I still didn't go back to the 80s. So I don't know.
That's rough. That's rough.
That's really surprising.
I remember, for me, when I was a kid, like my dad, like for me, like my dad would like get these WWF events. Like for him, it was corny, but he would like take me to see like Jesse the Body versus fucking Dr. D. David Strange and shit. Like those are fucking
David Schultz. He smacked. What's his name?
The John guy, right?
The talk show guy who came in and asked him a question was fake. He smacked him across the face.
Is this fake motherfucker? Is what he said. Yeah, I really remember that. But
John Stossel,
yeah, 100% Stossel. Yeah, and that was when I was a kid. And my dad was taking me into, because I lived in Brooklyn. My dad would take me into Manhattan, and that was our weekend. We would take me to some fucking cigar rolling shop, and then we would go to the Madison Square Garden. They would roll up some fucking cigars, and we would fucking watch WWF matches. Man, that was my childhood, man. Totally. And I was like, yeah, I get it, man. I would give anything for anybody to give me those moments again, because there's like a lot. You can't appreciate those moments in their time, right?
I don't get it.
Yeah, right. But you don't. Like it takes like 10 years. Like you need 10 years to appreciate the nostalgia of those moments. Like your dad's giving you those moments, right? Like,
Yeah, I just can't get the. I mean, I guess I understand why people like the wrestling, but I'm not really
but
quite.
Riker, you're not like in New York City too. Like,
Yeah,
it's
that's
on
true.
too. I think
Man, you see him just reach out and God, he really smoked him there, man. That wasn't fake. That wasn't fake, Mr. Stutzel. Oh, I'm sorry.
who's yelling now? I don't know what's happening.
Smacked him. I told you he smacks him. Look.
It sounds like Jeremy. It's Jeremy. I'm sorry. Whatever you're yelling is muffled. I apologize.
Can you hear me?
I hear you. Yes.
Did you not hear him like smacking him and saying, "You think that's fake"? Was that?
You think that's fake? How do you like that? I fucking love the John Stossel shit. Yeah. At that moment and that time, and I was like, that was not a thing I was a part of. I remember the thing I was part of, like specifically live in the moment, was the first time that Hogan had to meet Jesse the Body Ventura. I was in Madison Square Garden. Everybody was fucking freaking out because they knew Hogan was there, but they had no fucking idea who this Jesse the Body guy was. But he was all like, with feather boas and shit, and everybody was like freaking out, like, what the fuck is going on and shit. But like that was like the I don't know, the hype man thing, like the interview moment, and then Hogan went on to wrestle Dr. D, David Schultz, and fucking beat the fuck out of him at that moment at that show. But I had, if there's something I really totally take away, like father son with my fucking dad, is my dad bought me those moments of wrestling in the early 80s. WWF like cherished the fuck out of those moments. Totally. It's kind of crazy, and they are totally really personal moments for me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The Body.
Just
Jesse the Body. Nobody knew what the fuck, but
that's
everybody.
a great name.
Yeah, and he just came out. He had fucking ears and boas, and he's totally like, just like just like flaming and everything, and just being flamboyant. And at the moment, like, he was not a quantified a thing, so nobody knew how to like quantify the dude. But I remember really quickly, everybody was like, "This is Jesse Ventura, he's Jesse the Body," and it's just everybody like just completely knew to hate him immediately. And I was at the arena at that moment. I didn't need all that like extra exposure to know like I was supposed to hate this fucking guy. It was just being like over the top and flashy. And
was he a bad guy the entire time?
Like the whole time, yeah, he was the whole time.
Even if he was a good guy, I think he was slightly bad. Yeah. Do you remember Yokozuna?
Oh yeah.
I hated him so much. I loved it when he came out of a chopper and just ran right in the ring and picked him up and slammed him, and it was such an epic moment, man. It was awesome.
Yeah, like he was the next iteration of Andre the Giant. Like he was like the Japanese Andre the Giant.
But I think Andre still like weighed more. I don't know.
Yeah, he was still around there. Like nobody ever appreciated like how much Andre was suffering. It's we found out years later through biographies and stuff how how much he was really struggling with that stuff. But
yeah,
he would like slam Yokozuna, being in the worst kind of pain in it. But
who is this dude?
Sting. You don't remember? You never saw Sting, dude.
Yeah, he looks pretty weak.
Dude, you've never heard of Sting?
No, he looks pretty weak.
Dude,
no, he's right. He's like he was what was it? WCW.
Oh, I recommend. Wait, that's the Undertaker on the right?
No, that's Sting too.
That's Sting as well. Oh, okay. I think I might have seen him in that look.
He basically ripped off the Crow for his look.
Yeah,
No, but it's not ripping off in wrestling. It's like repurposing. I don't know how to explain it. Okay, it's like
weak.
nah, Sting was like a weak Ultimate Warrior, right?
Well, he was weak though. That's the thing because WCW overtook WWF in the ratings at one point. You got to understand. There was a point where they were bigger than WWF.
Yeah, but like I like when I get like too also like being from the East Coast, like the Northeast, WWF was like the fucking thing. So anything less was weak. So like seeing like WCW stuff out of the Southeast or the Midwest, that was all fucking. Those were just like second rate fucks. I'm
telling you, dude, there was a time when WCW was bigger.
There was.
In my area, it was.
Oh, totally.
Here in the South, WCW ran more shows in the South than WWF did back then. So yeah,
that's when you got Stone Cold and Goldberger and all that stuff. That's when those guys they had like some legit like fucking platform to jump off of. But initially they were just really second rate to WWF until it really like they all figured out. You know, it became Ted Turner versus McMahon, right?
So really, what was Sting's deal? What could he do? Did he have some? What was his deal?
I mean, he was at one point he was the cool muscle. At one point, he was the cool muscle dude Stinger, and he just wore face paint, and he was like the prototypical good guy. And then after people doubted his loyalty to WCW and whether or not he was a member of the New World Order, you know. These guys here, hang on.
That's all we're gonna check out.
Okay, yeah, I'm geeking out, but so
it got too complicated.
I know it's complicated, but the New World Order, the NWO,
Hogan, and he was Hollywood Hogan.
They were like invading WCW, and some of the wrestlers were like storyline wise questioning Sting's loyalty. Like, why didn't you help us when they were beating us down and all this? And he's like, and then he became so like, you know, distraught and upset by people questioning his loyalty that he became the Crow Sting. And I don't care what anybody says, it was awesome back then. It was awesome. It was. I'm sorry.
No, that one specific picture of his makeup looked ridiculous.
What, right there?
No, the one before that.
Oh, okay. I don't know.
Whatever one you clicked on, his makeup looked really goofy. Looked like a cheap Halloween costume.
Well, maybe, but this was my childhood, and it's still awesome to me. I can still buy into it now, and I can still take it as seriously if I were to watch Sting versus Hogan Starrcade '97. Even today, I could still watch it and take it as seriously as then.
And who would win? Who would win? Who would win today?
Okay.
Who would win? You can't tell me. Who would win today? Sting versus Hogan. Who would win today?
Sting.
Oh, Jesus. Okay.
You got to figure all the bad publicity Hogan's gotten. Okay.
I disagree, but whatever.
Okay, well, you think Hogan? Why?
But because I mean, I don't know. To me, like it's you're coming off a different time. Okay. I think just Hogan was the bigger guy, like to win of the. So, but whatever. Like it's all just fake. So there's no real answer to the question. Yeah. But
I know we're boring Ben and Gregor to death, so I'll wrap up here. What?
Well, I mean, you mentioned Jesse Ventura earlier. Did you know that Chris Kyle, the American Sniper guy, lied in his memoir that he beat up Jesse Ventura, and Ventura sued, and it kind of exposed that there were a bunch of lies in the memoir.
Yeah, it was done because I personally identify as a libertarian. Unfortunately, I got caught up in that nonsense of libertarian Michigan politics for whatever they're worth. So, I understand that happened for whatever they're worth. I don't know how else to answer for that after the fact, but that is
pretty weak.
I think we have.
Douglas Hackle.
I think we need to
Hackle.
Hello. Am I audible?
Answer. He needs to answer for his sins.
Yes, we need to put together a wrestling match between him and Ann.
Am I audible?
Yeah, you're muffled, but you're audible.
We hear
Why
you.
am I muffled? What? Am I still muffled?
Yes.
Why?
I don't know. We hear you.
Because probably something you did to piss off God. He's probably mad at you right now, like everyone else is. Don't try to run away. Don't try to hide away from you, asshole.
You really need to wrestle God for the fate of his.
I should not be muffled. Am I still muffled?
I think you would. I think if it was Ann Sterzinger's life against whoever, Sting, for Ann Sterzinger's life, Jeremy, I think you would deliver Ann to us. Safe and sound.
Ann was the incognito mosquito. She can hold her on.
Yeah. It's just a different thing.
I think maybe Ann needs to be punished a little bit. I don't know.
What do you? Stop it!
I'm sorry.
She'd kick you in the balls. She don't need your help, but
I know.
She's an action figure, man. She'll kick your ass.
Yes.
She's got kung fu action grip.
What were you even trying to say? You look like an action figure.
He was on pills and horny.
Think about it.
I don't want to think about it. Jeremy, where are you working as Esper? Where's Esper?
Wait, hang on. Think about what you do with an action figure, dude. Come on.
You stick action figures up your butt?
No, I'm not going
to.
Correct. You take them out of the packaging. You play with them. Hello? I mean.
This is going into very bad, weird places. You should be.
Yeah, I agree.
That's not that weird, man.
It's very weird. You're weird.
Jeremy, think of how much you fought for Gregor to come back to the Quiet Place. And this is what you're fucking the hill you're gonna stand on.
Why would he leave me based on me hitting on Ann? She knows I'm attracted to her. She's not
yeah. So why are we fighting this battle on this hill? That's what I ask you.
Why is it such a thing? Why is it such an ordeal for me to say that Ann is attractive? I don't understand.
Because we don't need you driving our co-hosts away by hitting on them.
Right.
She drove herself away because she couldn't wait for me to come back from almost dying.
Well, we thought you had died. So
it's the collarbone. To me, it feels like the collarbone. It's Ann's counseling Ann, right? If I'm not wrong.
That's right.
If you're gonna die, Jeremy, do it off the air.
She can do no wrong.
I think you should do it on the air.
Her collarbone.
Thank you.
If he's gonna do it on the air, he has to give one of us control so we can end the stream, or just keep going because we can just start at the beginning with him, putting bottles and bottles of pills down his throat until he stops breathing, and then turn his camera off and just keep going with the show.
I mean, I think that it would be cool if he keeled over, and then the stream just kept on going, and we just left, and then somebody could tune in and see the cops coming in to get his body and all that.
So, what was that last thing you were going to say?
That would, to me, be weird.
We what?
I think he said
Didn't catch any of that.
protesting the Uyghurs.
Yeah, it's
just the what?
Yeah, I'm just trying to catch up with the last of the pit pills because it seems so weird to me.
What seems weird to you?
The last of the pills, like it was just leaving me hanging.
Okay, yeah.
Like what do we do with those? Those are the most they're the most incriminating pills, right? The last fucking two.
The last fucking two pills are incriminating. You are about to throw up or pass out.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Right? Without those, like, what the fuck? Nobody's got a case without the last two pills.
When you make
I think Frank is impressed that you munch pills like Pac-Man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn right. And if we ever hang out, I hope you guys have some,
Whatever's in your cabinet, hand it over.
Well, Frank's got some hummus.
Look
I
at
do.
it.
I do. I do have some hummus. I got Pac-Man fever.
Look at this.
What?
Yeah.
Stop that. What are you doing?
I'm just saying.
You're trying to make it rain on me?
If we ever hang out, and I'm just saying, okay, look.
No, you already got pills. Stop asking to buy it.
I want more.
Okay. Go on the dark web and buy it with Bitcoin.
Good idea.
Oh my god, I got so much Bitcoin to burn, yo.
Yeah.
You can have Frank show you how to use Bitcoin to buy drugs online.
Yeah. That's what we all need to do. ET phone home.
Okay, he's out of it. Let's. Thank you, everybody, for coming on, and well, that's
it. Dude, Gregor was like fucking all in the whole fucking week. Dude.
All right, yeah. Jeremy and our suffering.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you, everyone. This is where you can make your exit if you so choose.
If you so choose.
Everybody's mad at you, Jeremy.
He's really out of it, man. Come on, you can't tell me he's not.
Everybody hates Jeremy.
Oh boy. Okay.
Push the button, Frank.
Yeah. No. Hackle for life.
Doug, I'm sorry, man. I really am sorry about that. I am so sorry. He really took it personal. He really did.
Nah, he gets it.
I think he'll be all right.
Frank, talk to him, please.
He gets it.
All right. Thank you. And
thank you for coming to the dumpster fire.
Yeah, it was quite a dumpster fire this evening because
it was, wasn't it? And I, in a way, I should thank Ann. Normally, I would be head over heels for the drama, but this time it was really awkward for me